Hello, everybody, and welcome back. This is the Uncensored Anime Podcast, a podcast where we talk about all things anime uncensored. And we are your hosts. I am David. We got Kenny. We got Jerry. And today is going to be a very lax, very chill episode. We're just going to be talking about a bunch of news. We haven't talked about news in a long time. So this episode will just be dedicated to news, new announcements, just, everything that's been happening in the anime world. We're going to be talking about it today. So hope you're all excited. Don't forget to hit that like button, the subscribe button. Why are you laughing? I'm trying to shill a little bit.
It's David the Shill. David the Shill has returned.
But yeah, don't forget to hit that like button, that notification bell, so you're notified about all future episodes. Also, don't forget to hit us up on Spotify and all other streaming platforms to listen to us in more of a podcast form and watch us in video form on YouTube. Okay, all that's out of the way. Jerry, take it away, big boy.
That's sexy. That's all honestly, that's what I roll out to this podcast for. Just that we got to start teaching. It would be funny if Kenny was like the shill guy. If it was like every episode, if every episode was like, David's like, hey guys, welcome to the and Kenny's like, just so you guys know, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe. Please go down to the video and leave a comment down below with your favorite part. I would be like,
I'm happy that we're talking about that like 40 episodes in. We're like, what if we had this like a more
what if Kenny was the shill guy?
Intro.
I generally shill at the end of every episode. Yeah. I think every episode has had my end. But what if we added a Kenny shill and he holds the gun up every time? Kenny with the gun.
How did I do it last time?
No, you the one that's edited. You were doing this, and then he put the gun in your hand because it was just too easy. But
no, Jerry, like, my personal favorite is when you do your 3-minute outro and you're like, anything else?
Anything else, guys?
David, anything else?
No? Kenny, were you guys thinking that might be time to talk right now after I've already done the outro? No, I always. That's my I think that's my when I really think about it, I think that's like my educator in me. You know what I mean? It's like, when I'm like teaching a class or like doing a presentation, a lot of times like at
you're
the
being
end
inclusive.
Or after Right, it's like one of those things where it's like after I've completed, you think that maybe someone's been holding on to a lingering thought, and you're like, hey, just want to check with everyone. Does anyone want to share any other thoughts before we move on or before we go to the next? So I think it's like, I think my innate ability just start, and at this point I've done it so many times that I almost, I feel like I have to keep doing it. It's kind of like all of our other recurring jokes on this podcast. We just have to kind of keep it running at this. We've done it for 40 episodes. Might as well keep going, right?
Yep. Anything else?
Guys, anything else? Anything I
Nope.
might have missed? No.
Nope.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so a lot of shit's been going down in the anime world. And genuinely, we did catch up on a couple anime stuff just during our chat with Chase, during our last full podcast episode, which was really cool. It was our first ever live action podcast episode. If you want to go check that one out, make sure that you do. We're probably going to bring you guys a couple of those kind of sporadically throughout the year. As soon as it just depends on if we can set them up and have some different guests. Maybe might find some different settings. We had some technical issues, some audio issues with that episode, but I hope everybody that listened did enjoy it. And we got some really good comments and feedback on that episode. So we're really grateful for those of you that have kind of stuck with us through whatever the hell this has kind of become over the last year and some change. But we're excited because I don't think we ever really, imagined what we were going to do with this thing. So that's beside the point. Boys, I think there's at least 3 anime that I need you guys to talk about because I haven't watched any of them yet. But I want to hear you guys talk about them because those of you that caught our episode before our Chase interview, we talked, or maybe it was 2 episodes before that. Geez, no, was it 3? Whenever we did our summer review, our summer impressions, there was a couple shows we mentioned that at the time, for whatever reason, they were not out yet. And they kind of were like these weird delayed midsummer shows, but all 3 of them had a little bit of hype behind them, and I think for various different reasons. So we wanted to at least give you guys a little bit about those 3 shows because we don't want you guys to miss them. And I feel like they're going to be shows that are going to be easy to miss, even if they are all 3, to my understanding, pretty freaking great. Right?
Pretty good, I think. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I've heard is good stuff about all 3 of them. So it's weird that they were these midsummer starters, but we don't want you because honestly, summer kind of sucked ass. Honestly, I've not kept up with any of the summer shows.
Wait, I'm still watching a lot of summer shows. I'm still watching Kageki Shoujo.
Bro, you watch everything.
Chill. Okay, I'm still watching Kageki Shoujo. I'm still watching Remain. But I guess now I'm also just watching 2 of these new shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because now you jumped into. Yeah, that's true. What about you, David? Did you keep up with anything?
I actually don't think I am.
Right?
I was planning on it, and then I was like, I'll just binge all these at the end.
Right.
None of them are
my
really...
2 plans. I was the same. I was going to do Kageki Shoujo and Sunny Boy, but I just kind of didn't feel compelled to keep watching them weekly. Yeah. I think Sunny Boy would be a really fun. Maybe we binge it together. Maybe all of us sit down and watch all of Sunny Boy and together as a podcast fan. Maybe we live stream it.
Jerry, you know what I've been watching instead? Instead of
David, what are you watching?
New
David,
weekly release
on the
anime
new stuff,
in 2021.
Yeah, he's watching a brand new anime. I think. Tell him what it is.
Instead I've been spending my time not only reading the first 27 volumes of Naruto, but also watching. I think I'm on episode like 150 of Naruto.
Jesus,
watched 150 episodes of Naruto in the last week.
Please tell me you've already watched. You're done with Naruto. The last.
Yeah, I'm in the filler now. And
you're in the infinite filler loop that occurs for 100 episodes after the actual story ends.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're gonna watch the fillers?
I'm gonna watch it.
You're a sick man. Please stop.
I've never seen all of the post Naruto Sasuke fight filler.
The only one I remember,
but not really.
You may have already watched this one, David. Isn't it like one of the early ones? They go to fight some guy who's got like a lightning technique, and he's like in a temple or something.
Yeah. It's like there's like a guy that's racing, so they're like defending him.
Yes.
And they fight a guy with like a lightning sword. Yeah.
That is like the only. I think I only watched the first chunk, and then I didn't watch anymore. That's all I remember from those fillers because I skipped to Shippuden. But. Whatever.
Which I mean, you can do that because it's all filler. You're not missing anything.
It's all literally filler. It's all literally irrelevant. So let's get into these 3 midsummer shows because again, I don't really have much perspective on them. I haven't watched them yet. I know a little bit about all 3, but I do want to give the viewers some information on these 3 shows just so that if they want to check them out. David, do you have the ability to pull up some info on these 3?
They're already up, Daddy.
Oh, sexy. Okay. Let's start with the one that I kind of think is the lowest tier one, based off just what I've heard. That's Jahy. David, what is Jahy? Can you tell them? I know that you bought the manga and watched the anime a little bit.
Yes, I'm a big fan of Jahy. So for those of you that have listened to our special anniversary episode, we did kind of touched on all 3 of these shows. But now that we're at our computers, we have a lot more power, technology at our fingertips. We can kind of give more factual, backgrounds to these shows. So this first show, the Great Jahy will not be defeated. It is, I believe, on episode 5 right now as of this recording.
Something like that.
It's like a reverse isekai. It's simply about this girl who is second in command of the demon realm, who then has all that taken away from her, and now she is in Japan, in the human world. She goes back and forth between like a lolly version of like a little kid and her full demon form. And she's just working to survive, and she's trying to find all the gems to reclaim her power and restore the demon realm. So it's funny. It kind of reminds me of, the only reason why it reminds me of Nagatoro is because Jahy looks like Nagatoro.
Yeah,
So other than that, there's no real connection between the two. But I mean, there's not a lot to say about it. It's funny. It's a slice of life. It's cute. I like all the characters. They're cute, adorable. There's some that are like
waifu material.
Waifu material. Thank you, Kenny.
Is she kind of waifu material when she's adult?
I mean, not really. In my opinion, other characters are more waifu material. Damn. But I do like Jahy as a character. It's funny to see her struggle so hard because the tables have turned. Because in the demon realm, she's like treating everyone like her slave, and then in the human realm or the human world, she is she's busting tables, she's working that hard life. All the people that were her slaves in the demon realm, in the human world, are rich and are vice presidents, and she's like, why can't that be me? So there's some good moments in it. I think I'm 1 episode behind, but I've been liking it so far. So,
damn. How much did it cover? Didn't you read the first volume?
Yes. So the first volume is covered in the first 2 episodes.
Okay. Cool.
It kind of the layout is kind of similar to Nagatoro, where it's kind of episodic,
right?
And so it's not really like a continuous plot.
Yeah.
Because what am I trying to say? Like with Nagatoro, there were like interchangeable things, like the order of events in the manga were different than the anime. So far, the order of events is kind of the same, I think, so far in Jahy. But it's really just like, not really Monster of the Week, but it's like, okay, finding all these gems. Like, where's this gem at? Type of thing. So
right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What's the do you know what the studio is, or if they've done anything, or what they are? And is there a planned episode count? Is it going to be like 12, 14? I don't know if you have Mal pulled up, but I'm kind of curious just because
it was a mid-season.
So the studio that does
right,
it,
it's called
Silver Link
starter.
Silver Link, they have done a lot, but they've done things like our favorite show, Our Last Crusade, or The Rise of a New World.
Oh my god, that show was so rough, dude.
That one's
Demon Academy.
At least it looked okay. So I mean, Jahy might. So Last Crusade was poorly scripted. It was just looked fine. So
yeah, I still haven't gone back to that show.
Okay.
I've only watched the first episode.
Don't, David.
It looks like this studio does a lot of isekais.
Oh, okay.
And so
they said let's flip the script, reverse the isekai.
And as far as confirmed episode count, I think I want to say it's 13.
Is it going to be 13? That's interesting. That means it's going to leak. You know what I mean? Since it was a late season starter. Yeah. And I guess all 3 of these are going to do that. Maybe. I don't know.
Actually, Mal doesn't have a confirmed episode count. So
damn. So it could be just doing its own thing, I guess. Hot damn. That's interesting. I definitely think it's going to be popular.
Yeah.
I mean, what was Kenny? You watched one that was like a reverse isekai that's super popular. A
Devil's a part-timer.
Yeah, and there's a lot of comparisons being drawn. Obviously, this is like the sexy older sister of Devil's a part-timer. Because in part-timer, isn't the devil guy kind of like a good guy? Like he's kind of nice.
He's like a regular dude, yeah.
Yeah, but in this one, she's kind of like a sexy seductress sort of. Thing a bit more aggressive.
Like not really like sexy and like seductive, but it's like kind of like not really like tsundere either, but she is.
Aren't you just sort of aggressive? That's what
she's aggressive.
I saw one. Yeah, aggressive. Yeah, that was the word that I heard. You like she
like tries to throw her weight around, but it just gets like pushed aside because she's mostly in her small form. So she's like, "Oh, you're so cute," and people don't really.
Oh, that's true. Right. But when she's in her sexy form, I don't know what to call it.
Everyone's like, "Oh, why are you like? Aren't you cold? Like you're barely wearing anything." Like,
yeah. Wait, that's pretty fucking funny.
It's pretty funny.
It's pretty funny. What do you guys think? This is one of those like. I do feel like Jahy might be one of those ones that in a couple months people will have completely forgotten about it. Like
possible.
It's one of those like
going to get sucked up in the like,
run of the mill reverse isekais. So that was kind of why I wanted to talk about it first, because I felt like it was kind of a weird. I don't know what their ploy was to like do a mid-season start for this one. I actually don't know why that happened. I don't know if the studio was just late to get the show out, if they just chose this weird time. Maybe more studios are trying to get away from the seasonal like mentality of anime. I have no idea. It's just what they decided to do. So so be it. And this one's on Crunchyroll, or am I wrong?
It's on Crunchy. Yep.
Crunchyroll. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Aren't all 3 of these on Crunchyroll?
Yes.
The 3 we're about to talk about
is a Crunchyroll original. Actually.
Oh damn. Yeah. Oh damn.
The Pirate Princess.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Oh damn. Well, let's talk about that one next.
All right. Kenny.
Okay.
Kenny, I think that's because I wanted to hear Kenny because I know Kenny's gotten into it quite a bit.
Yeah, I've been watching it. So, Fena the Pirate Princess is about it's about this vampire named Zero. He's like a pureblood vampire, and then
bastard, you sick bastard! I was literally, I like actually listened to that. I was
Me
like,
too. I was like, wait.
I was like, they have Zero in this? I was like, who are we talking about?
Vampire Night podcast, guys, where we talk about Vampire Night every week. We talk about Vampire Night.
At this point, he's just not even playing around. It's always coming in the first 10 minutes. It's like right when we start, Kenny finds the
he's like trying to get it like out of the way. It's like, okay, I've done my quota.
I try and think about like when's the best point to
just slip it in there a little bit.
At this point, it might be funny if it eventually is like 2 hours in, you're just like, we're like running down, we're finishing the episode out. You still haven't mentioned it, and you're just like,
anything else? That's whenever I'm gonna drop one in. Anything else, guys?
Yeah.
What are the times you hit us with it? Oh yeah, Vampire Night.
Yo, what if that would have been funny, Kitty? That would have. Okay, now it's not gonna be as funny, but now it might still. I don't know. We'll never know. Okay, so but for real, Fena, and this is the one that I'm the most interested in watching myself. I haven't got to start it yet, but I am the most interested in this one of the three.
So Fena is about she has like snow white hair, and the beginning shows her dad was making an expedition to some place, and their boat is attacked, and a small knight saves her, and then Fena is imprisoned for 11 years to be a concubine. And then we pick back up with Fena 11 years later, whenever she's about to be sold off to her husband or whatever. And sort of, these knights, as well as some of her dad's old compatriots, come and save her. And then they're trying to discover why her dad was bringing her to this island, to Eden, is what he says. Fena, get to Eden. That's all he says. And that's like the first 10 seconds of the first episode. And so so far the rest of the series has just been them trying to figure it out. And there are other people also trying to get Fena to Eden, that we've sort of discovered so far. And I don't know, there's a lot of really cool action. I love samurai stuff, and there's some samurai stuff with the pirate stuff, and I like pirate stuff. Each of the characters is really fun and likable. I think episode 2 does a really good job of introducing us to each of the characters. And so I'm enjoying it so far. I think there's 6 episodes out now. But yeah, it's just been really awesome. And yeah, I don't want to spoil too much because this is a bit of a mystery show. So I don't want to, but it's like the mystery is discovering the understanding. And so yeah, some clues have been dropped already, but yeah, all the characters are really cool. I really like, the guys, her pirate team are called the Goblin Knights. And I really like all of them. I really like each of their little, each of them have small quirks, and I think they each work. Just for one example, Yukimaru is sort of this no nonsense, he's the main knight, and and his little quirk is that he doesn't do well with women, and whenever he gets embarrassed, his ears light up red. And so it's just a small quirk to have this very stoic knight, sort of get embarrassed at different things. And
that sounds pretty dope, honestly.
Yeah. But each of the characters each of the Goblin Knights are very cool, very interesting. I'm scared because, it's a new anime. I'm scared that maybe some of them are going to die, and I really like all of them, and I would like them not to die.
Right.
But it would definitely add good wrinkles, unfortunately, to the anime.
He's like, I don't want them to die, but
if they start dying, I mean, how JoJo's does. At the end of the season, they just start. They're just like, Abdul's just dead. He's just dead. Okay, all right.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He got eaten by Vanilla Ice. Him and Iggy both.
Right.
You're like, oh, okay, well. Oh, spoilers for JoJo's Part 3. Shit.
Sheesh. I feel like at this point, that's a good point. Do you think that I feel like if you spoil something that came out 20 plus years ago, it's not your fault anymore. It's their fault at that point. But that's just I'm like, when a story's older than you are, it's kind of like their fault. But I don't know. That's just
So yeah, I'm enjoying Fena. Like I said, I like pirate shit and I like samurai shit. And so it's been fun so far, and I'm interested in the action's very cool.
It's an original anime, right? It's not based off anything.
Yeah, I believe
original.
So.
Okay, cool. And it looks like the creator is known for some pretty intense stuff. he also created an anime that I think Kenny might be the only person who's ever seen here. It's called Be the Beginning. It was a Netflix original.
Oh, I really like that one. Season 2 just recently came out. It was Netflix original.
Yeah.
Same creator.
Wow.
That's the same creator as Fena.
Season 2
Wait.
Part 1 just came out.
So this person you're talking about, Jerry, Kazuto Nakazawa,
Uh-huh.
was the director of the Linkin Park Breaking the Habit music video. What?
I'm okay with that.
Did it
That's
animated?
so
Was it animated?
random.
I think that one is animated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that
I
makes
think it is.
more sense.
I was about to say, I think it is, yeah. That's crazy. But still, that's cool. That's cool. You know what I mean? Like, that's...
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Oh, and they
Yeah.
worked with he worked with Samurai Champloo. It's also interesting.
There is a bit of, I can definitely feel some Samurai Champloo vibes from,
Looks like it was Production IG that did the production on Fena.
Yep.
So that's also pretty cool because they're really well known for just like Ghost in the Shell and Haikyuu and a lot of other really great productions over there.
Tower of God.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've
I don't
produced
know.
a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seems like this one's got a good setup for it to be maybe not anime of the year, but potentially like a memorable series for sure. I mean, it's got a good creative team, it's got a good studio, it's got a good concept to it, and I mean, this could be one that people might still be talking about after this season. So,
Yeah.
And it's just weird that it came out so late because like we didn't get to talk about it during the. I feel like if it was in our first impressions, I think some of us would have been more excited. And again, I haven't even gotten to watch it yet because I didn't put it in our first impressions. It's like came out in the middle of the season. I haven't even forgot to try it yet. I think there's already 5 or 6 episodes out. So that's like one of those things where I've got to get my butt over there. I'm not gonna lie, the MC kind of looking kind of cute though too.
Fena pretty cute.
Yeah, they did a good job with her design. I'm like,
I
that's a
think-
cute design.
Oddly enough, I think some of the boys are cuter. Like, just their personalities. Just do this in the show.
Oh, you're looking. Oh,
I'm just saying,
Come
like,
on,
Yuki
the
Ma-
boys are cute,
You're
Jerry,
looking.
come on.
You're looking a little homosexual over there, Kenny.
Well, I don't know. I like all the
You
character
gotta
designs.
support the homies, bro.
I'm very happy. Like, I like a lot of the character designs in this show. So
I gotta say, I think that most Crunchyroll originals have been kind of a flop. So it's good to see that maybe this is gonna be the changing, like the big like shifting point for this.
Right.
I mean, to get a big studio like Production IG behind it is already kind of awesome. But then to also just give them sort of free reign to write and do something, and to get a creative like Nakazawa on it, I don't know, guys. We might be onto something here finally.
Yeah, the voice
Because-
actors seem to be some pretty popular voice actors. Well, maybe not
Pretty
popular,
sick
I
as
don't
well.
know, but,
Let me take a look here.
Stephanie
What-
Shay's in it. They got,
The English voice cast.
Yeah, I only recognize some of the English voice cast, but
Okay, I thought you were talking about the Japanese voice
no,
cast.
but
so.
let's look at the Japanese voice cast too. I'm curious.
So the Crunchyroll originals, I was thinking about this. I was like, what are some of the other? We've actually talked about quite a few here on the podcast because Tower God was one of the earliest Crunchyroll originals,
Yep.
followed by Tonikawa, which we did here on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
David's favorite, So I'm a Spider, So What, was a Crunchyroll original.
Yeah,
It
it wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
It wasn't terrible.
But I feel like everything kind of came to a head when the biggest Crunchyroll original of all time came out, and that's X-Arm. I just feel like
Oh, wait, that was
that's
a Crunchy original.
yeah.
Oh,
somebody asked me the other day, what's your least liked anime? I was like, X-Arm. Like, what? Like, it was one of those questions where you expect somebody to say something well known, and they're like, what is X-Arm? I'm like, don't ever look it up. Just
Yeah,
know
don't worry
that
about it.
that's the worst anime
know
I've
that
ever
it's bad.
seen.
Yeah. But I think with Fena, we might be back in the right direction, is all I'm thinking, It's like, I've wanted to watch this one, Inspector. I haven't been able to watch it. I know that Kenny has read the manga.
Yeah, I really like the Inspector manga.
Inspector, the anime looked pretty well done based off what I saw, and I need to check it out. But, oh yeah, Crunchyroll also made fucking Gibby 8, which is also considered potentially one of the worst animes of all time.
Someone was telling
it's
me
about-
that I need to watch that. I think it was Jesse.
It's supposedly absolutely fucking terrible. So
Have you seen
shout
it?
out to I've only seen I watched one night. I went on a hole where I watched clips on YouTube because I was just so curious. So I started watching clips, and it's incomprehensible in that format. I could not understand what each clip was doing. Out of context, they were just really, really silly. I mean, there were chainsaws and giant bugs, and the animation was terrible. I mean, it looked like it was animated on a fucking notepad or something. I mean, just abysmal to watch. And so that's when I realized I was like, maybe I need to watch it.
Wow.
So it's up there on X-Arm territory, and then, Gibby 8 started terrible, and then X-Arm kind of followed up and was like, look how bad I am, though. So definitely not a good, not a lot of good work in the Crunchyroll original realm. They have 4 anime upcoming, though, in the Crunchyroll original zone. And one is an original work with just the title, Meiji Gekken Swords and Guns. So that already is giving me bad vibes. Just to be honest. The next one is High Guardian Spice, which looks kind of cute, but it looks very American, and it seems to have a mostly American production team, similar to their original Onyx Equinox, if you guys remember that. So that was also a mostly American team, I believe. And then we've got an adaptation of a webcomic written by Warren Ellis and illustrated by Paul Dillfield called Freak Angels. This one at least sounds interesting to me.
Right.
So I'm not sure. And then lastly, Blade Runner Black Lotus, which I've actually seen some promotional stuff for that one. It's going to be like a spin-off anime about Blade Runner. It looks like it could be pretty cool if you're into the Blade Runner universe. And I do think that one's going to be 3D, but like that like nice movie 3D look. I don't know what else to call it. Like, like the Gantz movie and that sort of like Appleseed, that sort of 3D sci-fi look. So who knows? Fena might be the changing point, or it could just be just maybe what's the word where it's like everything else is terrible, but this one's good. It might be one of those like a strike of lightning sort of thing. Like Fena might end up being the only really good Crunchyroll original. Who knows? But we're excited to see more. I hope it doesn't end terribly or something that would suck. But
I'm really curious about this Freak Angels. Just the poster alone looks really interesting.
Chill, David.
It looks interesting, dude.
Chill. No, I agree. Actually, it came off as interesting to me as well. So, but
We'll have to watch them.
Yeah, we're gonna get. That we on the Uncensored Anime Podcast, we try just about anything. We'll at least taste test.
We'll try anything.
We'll watch X-Arm. Taste test. I mean, we watched X-Arm.
We watched X-Arm.
I'm gonna
Can't go lower than that
someday.
I've been lower.
I've been lower. Okay.
All right.
Let's talk about the last late starter. And I think both of you watched this, and I'm the loser here for this one. So I wanted to make sure we save this one for last, because I know you guys were definitely both pretty interested in it. And that is, and I know we even had someone ask us in the comments to watch the show. So hopefully, if you're out there, commenter, here we go. David and Kenny have both watched quite a bit, or at least a couple episodes, right?
Yeah, I'm caught up.
I'm caught up.
Oh, damn. Okay, you guys are literally caught up to the. Fuck me. But Idaten Deities, No Only Peace, I believe, is the full title. It's a new Mappa production by Kino Shinju, the person who wrote. I can't say their name, but the person who wrote Kobayashi's Dragon Maid and some of the other stuff we talked about, like Peach Boy Riverside, Ojo Jojo, a bunch of other.
Can't Decline.
Yeah, quite a few other series that have been adapted in anime as well. So Idaten Deities is now getting its anime adaptation alongside, again, 2 other productions by the same artists, which are Peach Boy Riverside and Kobayashi being on air. So this person now has 3 anime airing at the exact same time, which is... that's got to be like a new record, is my only thought. Like, there's like... I can't think of any other author who has had 3 series that they made in manga form turned into anime series. But I also have always wondered if that author is maybe a portmanteau of multiple authors, sort of like Clamp. Like Clamp is a team of people. So I've always wondered if that's what that is. It might not be. It might really just be one person. But I don't think that. I don't think they've ever like showed their face or whatever. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Idaten Deities. Oh, tell them what it's about, because I don't actually know.
So it's about, basically the show starts with the current gods, the current Idaten, sealing up all of the demons to save the humans, except for one who has to stay behind. And then we skip, I think, like 800 years into the future, and sort of a handful of demons have made it to the outside and have started pulling power to sort of kill the Idaten, but how in the title it says the Idaten only piece, unfortunately, they're a little more crafty than one would make that seem. Rin especially is very, very strong, like unbelievably so. And so, yeah, that's so far that's sort of all. We get some more explanations on what Idaten are and sort of this battle between these demons and the Idaten happen up to this point. But some of the big questions haven't been answered yet, which is nice. We are 7 episodes in. But yeah, I really in this show I also really like the characters. Each of the Idaten are very interesting. Each of them have, I don't know, interesting characters. And they don't sort of act exactly how you expect them to, which I think is cool. I think they're a little enigmatic, and I think that's interesting. But yeah, that's basically what it's about. It's really cool. The action is awesome. I do want to say the action in this show is like crazy good. Mappa
bless you, Mappa. Thank you,
Mappa never holds out on the fight.
They showed up. Yeah.
Yep. They're in the pull-up gang, so.
Also, Jerry, I think you would love this show because the Akemi Okamura. Oh wait, never mind. Fuck, I misread that.
Bro?
I thought it was the voice actor for Robin, was the voice actor for Nami. So never mind. You don't care.
Wait a second.
You don't care.
No, I hate this show. No, I'm joking.
You don't care.
God damn it, Nami, you stupid.
Oh.
No, I'm joking. I love it.
But the voice actor for Rin is the same voice actor for Nami, so that's an interesting.
Wait, that's
fact.
cool. That's cool,
and
actually.
I think Rin is my favorite character in the show, so that's really cool.
Rin's very cool.
She's very, very cool.
I actually think I like Prontia the most. He's got those goofy like
what? He's got them like Ronald McDonald shoes.
Yeah, he's got like Bugs Bunny feet, and you're like, what? And he's just kind of, but he's like, I don't know, he's fun.
He's like skinny boy Sephiroth.
Yeah, he's almost like, yeah, I would say that exactly. He's like skinny boy Sephiroth. He's like Sephiroth, but he's like weird, and he has those Ronald McDonald feet.
And I think we were talking about this before we started recording. I think it's supposed to be 11 episodes for this season, and I think episode 7, Kenny, is that the most recent one?
7, I think.
7,
yeah.
So just a few more left.
This one was just slightly late, so I think it'll end with the season.
It'll end, yeah. If it sounds like it's an episode or two shorter than most, and it started only a week or two late, so it's actually going to probably end on time, which makes sense. Mm-hmm. But the other two are definitely going to bleed into fall. Fena and Jahy are definitely going to bleed into fall for sure. Yeah. But I don't know. So I've heard with this one that it's definitely like the more actiony. This author doesn't usually do this sort of stuff. I don't know. And I heard that the colors and the animation and all that stuff like blends well with this sort of style. But I don't know what have you guys noted anything in your seeing of it? Like I also heard maybe it's a little bit like more adult, like more seinen almost.
Yeah. It is. Yeah.
So this is currently, so it's still ongoing. It's running in Young Animal, which is known for hosting Berserk. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because watching the show, it's very vibrant, very bright colors, almost kind of neon, but the subject matter of because at the time there's like gods versus demons, but there's also humans that the show will pan over to, and it's always like the worst of human life of being assaulted, living in filth, being poor, blah blah blah, all those things. And so and it's also pretty gory. In the fights, these gods can regenerate, so it's kind of more at liberty for them to, kind of similar to Chainsaw Man.
Right. Which who knows how Mappa's about to handle that one.
I'm excited for that. But
I'm ready for that one.
But yeah, I mean this definitely is, the focus is definitely on the fights, the battles.
That's cool.
There's a lot of it, and the animation for all of them is always well done. So it's always really cool to watch. Right. Damn. Yeah. All
right, well that's sick.
I mean, Jerry, when I started watching it, and I binged I think it was 4 or 5 episodes right at the time. Once I started, I couldn't stop. So I think I think that will happen to you too. I think you'd really like.
Probably.
It,
It's got my style. I think it's definitely right up my alley with this sort of like cleaner animation, sick battle sequences, and colorful characters. That's sort of right in my zone. So
of age
I'm probably gonna dig it.
characters.
Oh,
Your
that's
favorite?
what a tasty delight. Thank you for making the characters adults. Mwah. So it's just so sad because like you guys watched the 3 new shows, but I've only mainly been watching. David been watching Naruto. I watched Shaman King, the new one on Netflix, which we're going to talk about in a later episode. But I've already watched through it. You guys haven't been able to get through what's up there yet, right?
I've been watching Naruto. I'm sorry.
No, never mind. Actually, sorry, guys. Sorry, David's only been watching Naruto.
I actually got like 600 more episodes to watch because I watch all Shippuden too. So I'm gonna be a little behind.
This is actually the Uncensored Naruto podcast. I'm just, that makes sense. But no, I watched Shaman King, and I really was. One thing I gotta say about it before, because we're gonna probably do a full review and breakdown, but one of the coolest things for me was, which surprised me, is that Netflix they like got the old 4Kids voice actors to like come back and do the dub, and it was super nostalgic watching it. I watched most of it in dub because I was just kind of like, I've already read the manga. I'm gonna just put it on the background instead of having to focus on it. So I watched most of it in dub, and it was just really cool to have. Especially Manta's voice actor. If anyone remembers from the 4Kids dub, he was just this ridiculously over-the-top voice actor, and he came back and nailed it for the dub of the new series. Absolutely came back full force, even though he's like pretty much done no dub work since 4Kids. So I thought that was like weird. I was like, they must have like hunted this guy down. He was probably like living a normal life, working as like an accountant or something. They're like, listen, dude, new Shaman King anime, we want you to come back and play. He was like, I'm on it. I don't know, but that was really nostalgic for me. And I think that I was going in with super low expectations because so many people talk shit on it. And I ended up, I'll tell you guys a lot more about it when we review it, but I was much more impressed than I expected to be. So I'm excited to talk about that in a future episode. The only other show I obviously watched recently was I watched all of Golden Kamui. So we watched all 3 seasons of it. Nice. I don't think we'll ever take much time to talk about that on the show, but if you're listening and you haven't checked out Golden Kamui, give it a shot. It's it's like a seinen adventure series. And it's mainly seinen not because of like blood or violence or even like nudity. It's mainly seinen for just like having some really like adult topics. Which include just like, people who are murderers and people who do like really uncomfortable things. There's like one character who he kills people and then he like skins them and turns them into like stuffed dolls. And his like whole house is like filled with like stuffed human dolls. You know what I mean? Like that's more, and it's not particularly like violent. Like, you don't see him like skinning people or something, like that doesn't really happen. But it's like just slightly more mature subject matter for the series. So I think that's where, if you get into the series, the violence is a little heavier in the manga, is what I've been told. And the anime actually kind of toned it down. And there's a lot of nude boys. I will say there's a lot of naked men in this series. So if that makes you uncomfortable instead of like naked women, I don't know. It shouldn't, because naked men, I don't know. You should, if you're comfortable with naked women, you should be comfortable with naked men. But
right.
Yeah, there's a lot of male nudity in this series as well. So if you want to give Golden Kamuy a shot, I want to tell, our listeners to give it a shot because I enjoyed it and thought it was quite, it's 36 episodes, I think. 36, I think it's 36. 12, 24, 30. I think it's 36. So if you want to watch all of it, give it a shot. And that covers a lot of the manga too. So there are some OVAs that fill in some of the stuff they skipped. So you can also watch the OVAs after you complete the series. Because it's really weird. The anime kind of skipped over some of the small, not necessary parts, and then they went back and animated them as OVAs. So that's another unique part of the series that I found interesting. Obviously, the later down the line, the more the series got super focused on what the end goal was, there was less they could cut out. But in the early parts, they definitely cut out a lot to kind of catch up to the current content. So the US manga release and where the anime ended are really close together. The anime was only a little bit behind where the current manga volumes are at. So if you watch all the anime, you'd be only about 10 to 20 chapters behind the American manga release right now. So that's pretty cool.
Sounds like the pacing's pretty fast.
It's super fast, but it works for this series. It's not a very wordy. It is wordy in moments, but it's not. It's got a really good, just nice, fast-paced vibe to it. So, But like I said, and I mean, they mainly did it by cutting stuff out too and adding it back in as OVAs. I mean, that's how they got through a lot of it. They just kind of like if there was like 10 chapters of, a side story where they like end up in a village and they fucking there's literally one side story where they meet this guy and he was like fucking animals, and they find that out like through their interactions with him, because at first they think he's just like a normal hunter, but he's like having sex with them. And it was like a 10 chapter subplot, but it doesn't really advance the like main plot. So the anime just chopped it, but they did go back and animate it as an OVA, which is even weirder that they were like, I guess fans just really wanted some of that stuff that they cut out animated. So they went back and did it. But yeah, Golden Kamuy, you guys should check it out.
Yeah, fucking animals. Yeah.
I told you. I warned you.
Animals.
Okay, there's one character in this series that when he kills people, he nuts, dude. Like every time he murders, he like has a mind-blowing orgasm, and that's like his whole shtick. So he just like has this like deep sexual attraction to murder, and he like tries to kill the main character, and the main character's the immortal Sugimoto. So he's like, he sees it as like the biggest orgasm if he could kill him. It's like, oh, the biggest nut of my life,
the
dude.
biggest nut.
Like, that's good.
What
if I could murder
fuck?
the immortal Sugimoto, damn it. But
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to watch this now.
David,
Damn.
you own the manga.
I have
you guys-
all 23 volumes, and
Bro,
I haven't read.
Whether you
Yeah.
read it or watch it, they're both. A wife read the whole manga and watched the anime with me. I just watched the anime, but
I think I'm gonna.
I had a
read it.
blast. I had a blast with it, and it's one of those shows that I feel like it's not slept on. It's like talked about enough that I don't think that it's like really like slept on.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it's popular.
yeah,
Sure.
exactly. It's a popular
very
seinen
popular.
series, but when it comes to like popular, it's not like a popular series.
It's not
But-
Boruto. It's not the best,
Right.
Anime of all time. Boruto, Naruto, Next Generation.
What are you saying?
What is he talking about?
Jerry, how do you kick someone from a
Bored.
Discord
How do you remove someone from a podcast?
No!
Fuck Baruto, dude. Oh my god, I can't believe I even want to think about. I don't want to think. I have to read more of it.
We'll shit on Boruto another day.
I'm requiring myself to read more of it later this week. So fuck me, dude.
Oh shit.
Okay, is there any other news that we've been missing, guys? I feel like I hate myself for this, but I feel like every day I'll like see some anime news and I'll like forget to write it down, and then we'll get on the podcast and I'll be like, what? Like, did we? What? There's no news. And like right after, I'll be like, oh shit,
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that comes to mind is so we mentioned To Your Eternity. First 20 episodes have aired, so season 1 is done, and they've already confirmed season 2 airing fall 2022.
Yeah,
So that's pretty exciting. I've only still have seen episode 1. I'm probably gonna binge the season this week because I've read the first 4 volumes or 3 volumes, and I'm really liking it, so I'm just gonna watch it.
I'm on episode like 14, I think. I haven't finished up, but I'm on like 13 or 14.
Yeah.
But
We'll have it. We'll probably have it in time for our.
yeah,
fall
we should.
wrap-up.
We'll certainly. If you're looking forward to it, we'll talk about it during our summer wrap up at the
Or
end of
summer
this
wrap-up,
season.
right,
So,
right.
because it bled into summer quite a bit. It did not really complete by the end, and we talked a little bit about it at the fall wrap up, just because I had watched it at that time, so I did talk a little bit about it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll talk more on that show if you're interested in our thoughts. But I will say I loved it. I've loved what I've seen so far, so. It's going to be probably one of my favorites of the year, I think. But I think so. I'm just worried because I heard about what happens in the manga, and it scares the bejeebus out of me because it's...
Oh,
Yep.
Kitty knows.
Kitty, are you caught up, or are you...
Kitty reads it weekly.
All
right?
I will say...
know.
All I will say is that the author has stated that
Oh, no.
To Your Eternity will be a 3-part series. And the manga has already completed its first part and started its second part. And I'll just say that audience reactions to part 2 of To Your Eternity have been not good.
Right.
The audience have not liked the direction the author has taken it in part 2 of the series. The anime only covers like half of part 1, so the second season will most likely complete part 1 of To Your Eternity, which would be great because a lot of people consider the ending of part 1. Some audience members now, I think the show or the manga has gone about 30 or 40 chapters into part 2. some people are they've just decided part 1 is it. Like they're just like
It's
pretending
that
like part 2
bad?
doesn't exist. They're just like the ending of part 1 was great. That's the end of the series. There's no need for part 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
But the authors already kind of joked about, well, not joked, they've talked about part 3, and they're saying that each part's going to be about the same length. So that means that part 2 still has another year or 2 of content left, which is crazy. And then part 3 will have another 2 to 3 years of content, which, you know, puts it on track to really wrap up in the next 5 to 6 years. But we'll see if the popularity can. I personally think that just with the complete dip in interest from readers, I think that the manga publishing company is going to say, "Hey, I know you had this grandiose plan, but let's go ahead and wrap it up. Let's just."
How much
I can
does
see
the
them.
anime, does the anime cover the entire part 1?
No, it's only half of part 1. So
Oh.
that's why I'm pretty sure season 2 will be I bet season 2
like
will complete part 1.
Season,
if that
yeah,
makes sense.
part 1.
Yeah.
Or
So it'll
season
make
one,
it to
part
where
2.
that if you watch season 1 and 2 together, you'll get sort of the part 1 of To Your Eternity. But yeah, I don't want to spoil what part 2 is about, but I have heard I spoiled it for myself because I'm dumb, but I will say the premise confuses me. Is all I'll say. It just confuses me.
All right.
So if you're a curious listener and you're like, holy shit, what's part 2? Go spoil it for yourself, but I'm not going to spoil it here on the podcast because I know a lot of us are watching the anime and haven't read the manga or aren't interested in the manga or maybe won't ever be interested in it. But I really want to buy all of part 1, which is the first 12 volumes of the manga. I plan to have that in my collection. I don't know if I'll have any of part 2 in my collection, but maybe once I get to it, I'll decide if I like it personally, because I'm not just going to write it off because of what other people say. But
Right.
I love this author. They're really great.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So
Silent Voice is probably one of my favorite stories.
Oh yeah.
Ever.
Silent Voice
in
is
anime.
unreal. Like, it's amazing.
to the same note as To Your Eternity, they finally confirmed that Tokyo Revengers is only going to be 24 episodes.
What?
Which means we only have 2 or 3 episodes left.
So
and
it's
they're
going to be
cut it.
seasonal?
Yeah. Which is really disappointing since
Yeah.
the animation's literally shit piss.
Oh my
They're
god.
going to get... wait, who's the animation studio for this? Because they're going to... I bet season 2... That's really promising because I bet season 2's animation is going to just increase in...
You think they'll get a bigger budget because of all the money they made?
yeah, I think it's going...
That's what you're saying?
Hopefully,
Okay.
Yeah, hopefully.
You can say that all you want, but you know how these anime studios be doing, bro. They be like...
Yeah, they're...
If we're gonna make
take
money
from
off
their
it-
animators...
if we're gonna make money off it anyway, then that's kind of their mentality. They're like, oh, it's already popular. It doesn't have to look good. Shit. I mean, I hate to say it, but yeah. So that means it's gonna wrap up, which means we'll also be able to talk about it at the end of summer because
Leiden
it,
Films.
it's gonna wrap up right next to this. Which, for those of you familiar with the series, the Bloody Halloween arc is gonna essentially conclude, and that's all that the first season's gonna have is up through the Bloody Halloween arc. I think it's gonna adapt something like between 70 and 80 chapters of the manga total in the first 24 episodes. So it moved at a pretty steady pace of like 3 to 4 chapters an episode, which is not bad at all. I felt pacing was really good for the first season of TR, but
Bloody Halloween was like kind of slow, but I think everything else felt pretty well.
Yeah, it didn't.
well
Yeah,
paced.
it didn't bother me. I think, but
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing that started to bother me is that I just think that it's. Well, we'll talk more about it later, but I want to wait till the season's over before I have some final judgment on it. But I certainly was. I have. Tokyo Revengers started as probably my favorite of that season and has slowly just declined. And To Your Eternity has reminded me, oh wait, a good story and a good animation together is what makes a good package compared to just a good story. And I think that's where TR is going to struggle to stick around. But I hope you're right, David. I hope that they are like, all right, this shit's a moneymaker. Let's pump some more money into it. But
Yeah.
IDK.
I mean,
Okay.
the live action movie has been fucking bussin'.
Oh,
in
you just
Japan.
talked about that. Yeah, the money was making. What's the? Is there any numbers actually around
Yeah,
about
I have
like
them
how
all
much?
right
It's,
here. Should you want
Oh.
to talk about movies in Japan real quick?
well, are there other movies or just this? one?
Yeah,
I was like,
there's another one that I want to ask about, but so
okay.
The Tokyo Revengers, the live action movie, debuted second week of July, so July 10th, 11th was opening weekend. It grossed $5 million in that weekend.
Wow. Okay.
which
Pretty
is
good, right?
wild.
Pretty
It was the
subpar
highest
compared to like an
opening film that
American.
weekend.
Wait, say again.
It was the highest grossing film that weekend. I don't know if that's
okay.
that's Japanese. That's yen. So I don't know what that translates to dollars.
It's
That's maybe
couple. I don't know off the top of my head
like,
either.
I don't know.
But that's subpar compared to an American release, but that's pretty good for a Japanese release.
Oh, actually, no.
You know what I
that
mean?
is US dollars. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
5 million. Wow. Yeah.
Compared to like how like a US release, like I'm pretty sure Shang-Chi made like 30 million or 40 million this weekend, but you know what I mean? So like
91 million.
was it 90 million? I thought it was way lower. I thought they had a bat. Well, shite on me, dude.
I thought it was for the whole Labor Day weekend, though. I think they included Monday.
Holy moly, yeah, Kenny. Holy bejeebus, almost 100
million.
almost 100 no, 94 million in the first weekend. So yeah, that's insane. That's got to be but you know, it's a fact that we're shifting back to people being willing to go to theaters again comparatively,
Yeah.
but yeah, compared to Tokyo Revengers is doing good,
Yeah.
but it's nothing like an American release, but obviously,
Yeah.
I mean,
and so
you can't
to,
really compare to
to
Hollywood.
date, Tokyo Revengers live action has grossed about $38 million.
That's really good.
That's a lot of money. And for
Yeah.
I need to look at like how live action anime adaptations usually perform.
Yeah, is there like a list? Like, wait, now I'm curious. Is there like a live action anime adaptations
Like box
gross?
office results?
Yeah, box office gross. I'm like, is there like a comparison chart somewhere? List of highest grossing live action animated films. Wait.
I don't know if are these I think these are all
Oh, never mind. I'm looking at a list of American stuff.
list of highest grossing Japanese live action films.
Okay, let's see that. No, I think that's just going to be any movie made in Japan. Yeah, that's any movie made in Japan. Damn it. I want one specifically based off anime, damn
I'm
it.
looking at this, so Rurouni Kenshin is up there.
Oh, yeah, I
Death
guess we could just
Note.
look at this list and see which ones have anime ones near the
Yeah.
top. Are they? Oh, yeah,
20th Century
Kenshin's
Boys.
Kenshin's the 22nd highest grossing live action, the 22nd highest grossing film to be made in Japan ever. So
Yeah.
it's got to be, I mean, it's got to be like the top
I've heard
one.
the Rurouni Kenshin films are like the best live action anime
Yeah.
adaptations, but I don't know. I don't know anything about Rurouni
Yeah, I'm not even a huge Kenshin fan, so it's whatever.
Yeah.
But
But no, that's it's interesting.
oh damn, okay, wait, Nodame Cantabile, isn't that a manga, an anime?
What's it called?
Nodame Cantabile. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
that one's number 9, the 9th highest grossing movie of all time in Japan. Nodame Cantabile, the movie too.
Is that just an anime movie though?
No, I think it's a live
It's a
action one. It's live action. It was a live action version of it. They turned into a film.
Musical romantic comedy.
Yeah, that's
Josei.
interesting.
Oh, it's the
Very
best-selling Josei manga in history?
Wait, what the hell? I didn't know that. Why have we never talked about this?
I've never heard of this.
I mean, I feel like I've heard the name, but I don't think I know much about it. When I think of Josei, I think of Nana.
Yeah.
Oh wait, what is this one? Okay, number 7 actually, 2 above Nodame, is a movie called Rookies, which is a Japanese shonen manga series written and illustrated by Masanori Morita
About baseball?
from Weekly Shonen Jump. No, it's about like amateur teacher who is faced with the challenge of guiding a high school baseball club. Yeah, you're right. High school baseball club composed of delinquents.
Like Bad News Bears?
Like Bad News Bears. Sounds like it. Yeah, it looks like they made a movie of it, a live action film of it in 2009, and it's the 7th highest grossing live action film in Japan.
That's pretty cool.
Wait, yeah, what the hell? It's by the same guy who wrote Roku and Dashi Blues, Kenny, if you remember that. It's
Really? Yeah.
also a Weekly Shonen Jump delinquent manga.
Huh.
Oh wait, now I'm moving up the list. These are all based off manga. Umizaru 3, The Last Message. So this is now number 6. A 2010 Japanese film directed by Eiichiro Hasumi, based on the manga series Umizaru by Shuho Sato. What the fuck? I've never heard of this.
I wonder if maybe some anime and manga translate better to live action. I mean,
Right.
because Rookies definitely, like, that sounds like just people
Right.
playing baseball.
That would work well as a live action, especially if it's scripted good.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's kind of crazy. This is
Man, I wanna
Yeah,
read
I'm
this
kinda
Nodame
surprised.
Cantabile.
David's gonna be reading Nodame Cantabile.
Yeah,
tonight,
he's a big
so
Josei fan, so
whatever. David loves Josei and Yuri. Actually,
he
that's all.
loves
I
Yuri.
showed-
Shoujo, Josei, Yuri. These are David's favorite categories. Now.
Wait, I do love a good shoujo. Okay.
Yummy. I don't know. What's your? If we were to pick best shoujo of all time, what would it be?
Vampire
No.
Knight.
Vampire Knight.
Uh,
Vampire Knight. I think that's it.
Come on. Did you honestly just ask that question?
I honestly was thinking about it the other day because I was like, what do I like? Like what shoujo do I like? And the only one I could think of that I've like really, really enjoyed was My Love Story.
Yeah.
I'd probably recommend Inuyasha.
God, I don't even remember the name
David.
of it. But there's a shoujo manga that's
Inuyasha's
completed.
a shonen.
That's a shoujo.
It ran in Weekly Shonen Sunday, I believe.
No.
Yeah. It ran in Weekly Shonen Sunday.
Did it really?
For a whopping almost 10 years. 96 to over 10 years, 12 years.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Damn.
it's Rumiko writes a lot of shoujo, but Inuyasha is considered a shonen, or at least it was intended to be
It was in a shonen
shonen.
magazine, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
damn,
that her
Rumiko
other
Takahashi.
series though, let's see here. Nope, Urusei Yatsura was a shonen.
Yeah. Damn,
Maisun Ikoku
wait, all
ran
of
in
her
a
works
seinen
except for like
magazine.
a few are shonen.
Yeah, Maisun Ikoku ran in a seinen magazine. Mermaid Saga ran in a shonen magazine. Ranma Half ran in a shonen magazine.
Fuck.
So actually all of her works have been considered either shonen or seinen. Even though she is a woman, which is okay.
Yeah.
Women can write shonen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait.
the highest selling manga, or the last couple of years, highest selling mangaka was female. So
Yeah.
it's shonen.
What you on about? What you saying?
Kiyoharu Kotoge?
Oh, the author of the author of Demon Slayer is a woman.
Yeah.
I think that Koyoharu wrote and drew it though, right? There wasn't a second
yeah.
person.
No, yeah, she
No,
did the art and story.
Although
That's
I think technically, like, because, like, I don't know, like, I think you go they them whenever you're doing mangaka, because they're like ethereal.
Veil themselves, yeah.
Yeah. Which is, I think that's a cool Japanese custom that makes it so that they don't have to be in the limelight,
Yeah.
Because, like, everybody knows who the fuck Stan Lee is,
Right.
But
I've always assumed that there's some mangaka that choose to come out and be like a public figure. Like I think of like Hirohiko Araki, Akira Toriyama. Like those are mangaka to me that are like they're very public. But then there are other authors I know Ichiro Oda's a guy, and there's like some old photos of him on the internet. But for the most part, he is not a very public person. He's actually a pretty private person and doesn't really do interviews with his face. He does interviews, but generally his face is covered, which I think is interesting as well. But I wonder why he's never kind of shifted to being on that other side, because he kind of grew up in the era when mangaka were still not very private. But nowadays it's like mangaka intentionally don't reveal themselves. It's like a very
It's probably
personal
smart.
thing. So yeah, I guess yeah.
Like if you're walking around creator of One Piece, like I feel like you'd be like stampeded over.
Yeah, you would have a tough time. I mean, when you really think about it, yeah, these are creators of some of the biggest franchises now in the world. And that's where it starts to get, maybe 20 years ago, it was whatever, because a lot of these manga weren't becoming these international successes. But nowadays, it's like, I mean, think about, what's his name? Gege Akutami.
Yeah.
If people knew who he was, he's this 27-year-old dude. But like, if it was easy to identify him, he's now a worldwide like superstar. His name is printed on millions and millions of books that have been shipped all over the world. All of a sudden, in this timeline between it being like almost nothing to millions was like less than a year. Like a year ago, people didn't really know him. Now all of a sudden, his name's on books literally all over the world, getting sold by the boatload. But yeah. Kenny, was there a shoujo you were going to mention a second ago before we started talking about
It's what I
Inuyasha?
really like. I don't even remember the name of it. I read the whole thing straight through. It's finished. It's about like a rich boy and a poor girl who are both very studious, and they compete in elementary school, middle school, high school to sort of be the top of their class. But then the girl cannot afford to go to college, and so but obviously the boy like falls in love like in like middle school. He's like, I'm in love with you. Like, what's going on? And she's like, what? You're weird.
What?
It's really cute, and I love as they sort of develop their relationship, and she comes to, she's like, oh, I love him, like, he's someone that I always want to be by, and so I don't know, it's really cute. I don't even remember the name of it. It's like, when we're this age, will we married or some bullshit, like that's the whole thing. He makes like a bet with her, like, if I can beat you, then you'll marry me or you'll date me. It's really cute. I can't even remember the name of it. I read it straight through, and I think that's probably my favorite shoujo, which sucks because I don't remember the name of it, but I just had a really good time reading it. So.
Oh, Banana Fish.
Banana Fish? That's your favorite shoujo?
That's my favorite shoujo.
I love that love story, honestly. Boys love for life. Okay.
Boys love for life.
Boys love for
I think
life.
I've only read/seen like 3 shoujos.
Yeah, I haven't really
two of them we talked
engaged
about.
much.
And the other one's Vampire Knight.
I'm about to say, I feel like there's a lot of shoujos that I know of. Like, let's see here, best-selling shoujo manga. I feel like if I go to the best-selling ones, I'll know all of them. Oh, Fruits Basket is one that's super popular.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Fruits Basket yet.
I've seen the old school version of it. You know what I mean? The first anime they did back in the day, but I never watched the new one. I would like to watch it, actually. I think it'd be a fun one for us to talk about on here.
Oh, Sailor Moon.
Yeah, that one is.
Come on. That one's a gimme.
Hey, David.
That's a
gimme.
It's a gimme.
That's a
So,
gimme.
okay, here's a couple that are like.
Okay, you didn't say it.
Here's a couple of the best-selling ones, like Boys Over Flowers, which I've obviously heard of, just never watched. Glass Mask, Nana, Crest the Royal Family, Itazura Kiss, Sailor Moon, Chibi Maruko-chan, Kimi ni Todoke. I know Kimi ni Todoke. Fruits Basket, Tokimeki Tonight. That's like one I've never heard of.
Tokimeki Memorial?
No, Tokimeki Tonight.
Come on. I wonder if it's a part of that universe, because there were these old PS2 games, Tokimeki Memorial, that never mind, guys.
I'm looking at the page because now I'm curious.
These
Looks
are
like it had a manga and an anime and a follow-up manga called Tokimeki Midnight.
Any video games?
I'm not seeing any video games listed on their wiki.
Dang.
Tisk tisk. Yeah, but like these are some of the Asari-chan. I don't know what that is either. Patalario, Seito Shoku. These are all good These have all sold very well, and I've like never heard of them. Yukon Club, Dobutsu no Oisha-san.
I want to read all of these.
Oh, Fushigi Yugi, Kenny, we know that one. Fushigi Yugi.
I know Fushigi Yugi. Okay, I wish I still think about it, because I wish that I could be the Fushigi Yugi guy instead of the Vampire Knight guy.
No.
Like Vampire Knight's become my thing, but Fushigi Yugi is hilariously perfect. Like
It's hilarious.
the Miyaka Tamahome bullshit.
It's great.
Oh my god, the opening to Fushigi Yugi. Go back and listen to it, guys. It is great. So,
wait, is Ouran High School not one of the best-selling?
I don't think it's short. I think that's the issue.
Weird. That's one that I would have thought.
Wait,
unless
High School? Wait, I thought it was like hella long.
It's like 20 volumes maybe. It's not
18
super
volumes.
long. 18 volumes. It's not.
It's only like 24 episodes, right?
Might be
Yeah, the
I'm
anime
thinking
was.
then.
Yeah, Ouran's one that I thought would have been a better selling one, but it's not really represented in the list that I just found. So, because that's another one I think of when I think of shoujo manga. Manga anime, whatever. Shoujo's definitely a genre that is, as us, I feel like all of us are definitely not masters of, and I think that's one that I've always like. I read a lot of shonen, I read a lot of seinen, I watch a lot of shonen, I watch a lot of seinen, but shoujo and josei I've always not been as engaged in, and I feel like I'm doing a disservice to myself, because there's probably a lot of great stories over there that we just have missed. Because I don't know, maybe we're all sexist. Maybe that's what it is. No,
I do like I like the Remarried Empress. That's a webtoon, and I would say that's a shoujo.
shoujo, but not running like an obviously can't run in a shoujo manga.
Right. It's definitely very shoujo. The boys are very pretty.
The boys are back in town.
Yeah.
Boys are back in town. Okay. Great, dudes. Well, so what else? Did we have other news we missed?
So we were talking about movies. I just wanted to mention.
I was gonna say we pivoted hard just now.
Yeah, we were talking about.
What happened to us?
But to go back to the movies in Japan, Japanese box office. So My Hero Academia World Heroes Mission came out at the beginning of August.
Oh,
and we kind of forgot to talk about it, but this came out about a month ago. Opening weekend, it didn't. Oh, so what's funny is the same weekend that it came out was the same weekend that Fast 9, the Fast Saga, came out. So it did not. I mean, it got second highest grossing that weekend, but 5 million.
I know.
Fast and Furious was rocking the jaws of My Hero.
Yeah. The issue is that My Hero just wasn't as much about family.
Vin Diesel was like,
he was like family.
You don't know enough about family. So, but I mean, ever since that week, its opening week, it's still been performing really well, at least in the top 3. Well, no, then it kind of dipped. So it was second place first week, and then third place, and then fifth place, and then first place the weekend of August 28th to 29th, and then second place this past weekend.
Wow.
So total, it's grossed about $24 million to date. Mm-hmm. So I mean, pretty good. That's a lot of money.
I mean, it ain't no demon train, but
it ain't no demon train. Yeah. So I haven't like seen or like read any reviews about it yet. I kind of just want to wait till it's out so I can watch it for myself.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about both the first and second movies on this podcast for My Hero.
We did.
I think overall, first one was like pretty good, and the second one was like a fanfic of Bakugo. So
it was literally like jerking off Bakugo for a fucking whole film.
So I'm curious to see what the third movie's about.
That's what you used your film for.
Yeah.
Kenny dreams about that. He wanted a movie about he was like,
Bakugo,
Bakugo
all for one. Come on,
he's my favorite character. Okay, shit.
He's a good character. I like Bakugo a lot.
I love Bakugo.
So
it's pretty dope though.
It's been performing well. Yeah, I'm curious to see if it keeps on selling well. I know nothing about what this movie is about. Also, by the way, I think it's about spies and shit.
I only know that it's got Todoroki, Bakugo, and Deku at the center of it. They have cool outfits, and I think Endeavor's helping them in this one too. So I think that's about all I know of it.
Some new characters, blah blah blah. So,
a little bit of new.
Yeah, a little bit of new.
But also, I wanted to ask you guys: have you heard of this movie called Belle, the Dragon and the Freckled Princess?
You're making it made up. You're making it up.
I haven't heard of it. Why is it doing good in Japan right now?
You're making it up.
I'm looking at this. Like art, like poster art, and it's animated, so it's an animated movie. Mm-hmm. And I think is it a sequel? Hold on, I'm doing research live right now.
Dave is doing live research. Maybe.
Okay. So Belle, the Dragon, and the Freckled Princess is a 2021 Japanese animated science fantasy film written and directed by Mamoru Hosoda.
Oh, that's the guy who does Boy and the Beast.
Yeah.
Right? And Wolf Children?
So this person has done... they did a One Piece movie. They did Wolf Children, The Boy and the Beast, Mirai, and Belle.
Hey, listen. It's all up there, okay?
But I brought it up because it's been performing really well. It's been like first, so it came out middle of July, first opening weekend. It was ranked number 1 that weekend. Ranked number 1 the following 2 weekends, and then ever since then it's always been the top 3.
That's dope.
So it's been like performing really well.
Is it 2D?
It's another Mamoru Hosoda. I saw Boy and the Beast twice in theaters, so I really liked that. And everybody talks about Wolf Children as one of the,
Oh, really?
like, yeah, one of like the best anime films.
I'd say that. Yeah, I'd say Wolf Children is considered a very, very timely film. So we should watch this, guys.
Well, we should
Belle,
watch
the
this.
Dragon
Yeah.
and the Freckled Princess. I wonder if it'll get like a. Usually his movies get like a Netflix release or like a, you know what I mean? It'll probably get an international release in the coming months. Just because Hosoda is like just such a popular. He's popular outside of Japan, if that makes any sense. Like he's a well-known director and animator. So I had no idea he was doing a new movie.
Yeah. It's been out for a while too. So and performing really well. So
that's dope.
We should.
I gotta watch it. I'm gonna say I gotta watch it. Maybe if it comes to theaters, we can go see it.
Ooh.
Oh, if it goes to theaters, we'll go. Yeah,
Uncensored Anime Podcast, going to the movies.
Heck yeah. Oh yeah, Hosoda is also the one that did the Digimon movie and Summer Wars, which is just also the Digimon movie.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. It's Digimon movie and then it's his own, but it's still the same movie essentially.
Yep.
This looks dope. That movie
That's all
cool.
the news I had for movies. I just wanted to talk about.
Dang. Okay, David.
Sounds cool.
Wow.
You tired, Jerry?
Other than that, I guess so. Jesus, not even
You're
late.
working too much, bro.
You're a hard worker,
know,
Jerry. You're working too hard.
Just working too hard.
I'm about to go try to put some work in on those hornets that are living right outside my door.
Oh no, not your hornet.
Those hornets have just been popping off.
They're gonna fight you.
I was like, I
You're
killed
gonna get
3 of them
stung.
yesterday with the spray, and so I was hoping, okay, that's it. They're dead for good. Like that's all. And I was thinking the ones that were gonna come back, they would just die instantly. That's what I was told was supposed to happen. But no, today 3 more showed up, and they are not dead. So come on, Spectre side.
What if you killed all the wasps or hornets that were in that nest, and then like just some random hornets came up and just like took over the nest?
They just moved in. They were like,
oh, look at this
they were
home.
like, they're like, wow, this is an open nest. Guess we don't have to build anything. No, go the fuck away, you hornets. Quit living. They're like right out my door, too. It's like
it's
when
scary.
you open the door, there's like 3 hornets just like, and I'm like, what the? So I'm about to get them again tonight. Honestly, like right after we're done, I'm about to
just use the whole bottle.
Yeah.
Just use the whole bottle.
A whole bottle?
I was. Kenny's like, wait.
That's a lot.
Yeah. You guys have to go back inside after that. Okay. And this time I'm gonna get like gloves and stuff too, because like I'm not trying to get poison on me.
Right.
That's fair.
Whatever. We're not talking about hornets.
Welcome to the Hornets podcast.
The weird thing is that I just feel like there haven't been a lot. It's kind of like production news on anime have kind of slowed right now, and I don't know why that is. Like there haven't been any like major announcements. No major series sort of like getting adapted soon. Anything like that has sort of come to light recently. I feel like a lot of people are just waiting because Demon Slayer is about to come out, and then Chainsaw Man's supposed to be coming out. The new Attack on Titan. A lot of stuff's already been announced, though. It's information that we know.
2 is coming soon, I think in January.
Vinland Saga Season 2 finally got confirmed, So a lot of this is new, but I think that a lot of people are just sort of waiting right now. What's the next, what's going to be the next on the menu. And I think that's kind of an interesting time to be in as an anime fan, because it's usually, I think a lot of anime fans use this time to catch up on stuff they missed,
Yeah.
They're like, okay, we've got to breathe, we've got some time to breathe. What's the show that I meant to watch 6 years ago that I missed for some reason, And I've seen a lot of that, a lot of my friends and stuff that are like, I'm trying to watch something that I might have, something under the radar. So I don't know. I wonder, I'm curious, those of you listening, maybe comment down below. Are you watching any shows now that are not new, that you're trying to go catch up on? Is there an older show that you maybe missed and you were like, oh, because I want to hear what you guys are watching at home that maybe are doing this, because I think me, David, and Kenny have kind of been toying around with the idea of doing a retro review, maybe picking some old anime that both of us hadn't watched, or all 3 of us hadn't watched, and going back and finally watching them and kind of giving you guys a little bit of a review of what that would be. So I'd love to hear down below maybe some of your show choices. Obviously, you might suggest something that we've seen, but feel free to tell us down below if there's any retro shows you'd like to maybe hear, some that are older. We're not talking stuff that's come out in the last couple of years, maybe stuff even before 2010, kind of in the older era of anime that we might be able to revisit. That would be fun, because I'm curious. This is definitely that time, and we've kind of got a month or so before fall starts, so this would be a great time to binge an old series that we've all never seen. So I don't know. right around this time last year is when we watched Erased, which was one we had all needed to go back and visit. So I think this is a good time. Well, David and I had missed and wanted to go back and you sick bastard.
I think also this is kind of like, because this always happens every season where it's like 2 to 3 episodes before the season's over. It's like all the things for the next season have already been announced.
Right.
And usually after a season's finished, like with To Your Eternity, if there's more content, there's like a follow-up announcement of, hey, by the way, there's going to be a new season. Like To Your Eternity did that. Quintessential Quintuplet Season 2 did that with the movie. Jujutsu Kaisen did that. So we're also like a few weeks away from any kind of follow-up announcements. Because I'm pretty sure for like Tokyo Revengers will definitely, I'm sure we'll get a confirmation, Season 2 announcement. Same with I am not watching any of the summer shows, so I can't remember all of them. But I know Idaten Deities. There's a lot of content with that. I'm sure there'll be a follow-up announcement when that's finished. So
yeah, I agree. But yeah, so that's where we're at right now with news and everything, guys. So I don't know. The only other thing I want to talk about is our last little conversation point that I think would be fun to talk about.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, this is this cleanup episode. It's an episode to just hang and talk, but I've just been thinking a lot about lately about Kenny's favorite thing.
Vampire Night?
No, gatekeeping.
Oh yeah, I'm the gate guardian.
Down
okay?
the gate. Yeah.
What are the two brothers from Yu-Gi-Oh?
Oh my God, what are their names? They're like, I am something and I am something, and we are the keepers of the maze.
Yeah. Come on, they play Labyrinth Wall.
Yeah. Labyrinth Wall.
And you're like, what?
Wait,
don't they have like
one of their names
elemental
like Bones or something like that?
No, you're thinking of the guys that are
Paradox
with
Brothers.
The Paradox Brothers.
Yes, Para and Dogs.
Yes. Yeah, we're like, I am Para and I am Dox, and we are the defenders of the maze or some shit like that.
They make the gate guardian, baby.
Yeah, they put together the elementals, whatever. But the thing is about, God damn it, we
love Yu-Gi-Oh here on the podcast, okay?
This makes you want to rewatch Yu-Gi-Oh.
Dude, it's kind of a blast, but you should read it. That's what I've heard. Chase has been doing that, and he's been loving reading it just because it's just a different way. It's like, I think for me, this has been something I've been wanting to do is like a bunch of old anime that I'd watched as a kid. I've been wanting to revisit them in manga form just because like it'll be a different experience. It was like what I did with Shaman King, right? Like I loved the Shaman King anime growing up. So I finally sat down and read the entirety of the manga, and I was super grateful because it was a totally different, it was like reliving a lot of the stuff that I got to watch, but in a whole new way and at my own speed. So
there's another piece of news. Speaking of retro anime, there's a new Pokemon anime coming out, Pokemon Evolutions. It's going to do
I saw the trailer.
One little story from each region, which will be fun.
Yep.
Which I bet will mean that we're probably going to get a new Pokemon announcement soon. I bet that they're going to be like, hey, it's Pokemon Strawberry and Banana.
That makes sense because next year would be...
It's about time, yeah.
Next year should be the new successor to Sword and Shield, if I remember, timeline. They've pretty much done it on time, every 3
years. Every 2 years.
So next November we should get a new generation potentially, but it's just weird because we're getting a remake this in a month or two. Diamond and Pearl, Shining Diamond and Brilliant Pearl or whatever, and then we're getting that weird like Arceus game early next year.
Right. Yep.
So that's going to be interesting. But I expect
the Pokemon Battle City or whatever, and the XD Gale of Darkness. They've always been developing sort of. Side games.
Right.
Which I'm excited for that Arceus game.
I'm excited. I'm excited for both because I don't think that I ever played Diamond and Pearl growing up. It's one of those ones that like, it's like
Gen 4. Gen 4's my.
I feel like David, we were in that age where like I had finally kind of stopped playing them at that point, and it was like, Kenny and Mikey owned it for sure. I know Kenny definitely played the crap out of Diamond and Pearl.
This was the first one I owned personally. Because we had DSs, so like I personally was able to own Diamond.
Right. I think I had a copy back in the day, but I don't know.
You lost it.
It
vanished.
It either got lost or got pushed in with the boys. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or like the boys and I all shared it or something, and it ended up as a part of the boys' games or whatever. But because I just didn't play games as much when we got to about that age. This would have come out what we were in early high school or late middle school. I think it's when Diamond and Pearl first came out.
Like 05, 06?
I remember you guys were.
Wait, that's late elementary school.
No, it came out
yeah, it
just
came out
after.
06.
06. Wow, we would have been sixth graders, David. So we literally like just started middle school.
The next one was Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and I feel like you guys were in high school for that one. Because I remember you and all of your friends waited at
When did
GameStop.
Let's see how old Heart Gold is.
Because I think that was
Heart
actually
Gold came out in
last one.
2009.
You like
See, what's
played.
weird is I definitely played Heart Gold.
No,
Yeah,
Hard Gold came out around
Yeah, that would have been high school. You're right, Kenny. I
around
definitely played it.
Platinum,
That's crazy.
which was
See, that's crazy
2 years
because
after Diamond and
I
Pearl.
just skipped Diamond and Pearl. Then it was like a generation that when I remember I played the hell out of Ruby and Sapphire, and then I just like didn't play Diamond and Pearl. Then I played Heart Gold and Soul Silver because I remember we all had the little fucking Pokey Walkers. Everyone had
Yeah.
one. We all played it in high school too, David. And
I'm about
then,
to say it. Everybody would
I remember
be
that.
playing in one hand and shaking in the other.
oh my god! And then I for sure like when Black and White came out, I like had stopped playing Pokemon completely. Like I was like not into it at all, and I didn't play again until the next time I got into Pokemon was with it was in college, David. It was fucking
It was
X and Y. X and Y. I
XY.
bought X and Y with you guys. Yes.
Yep.
In college, I bought X and Y. So I skipped over Black White generation just completely, and then jumped
Black
back in
White.
at Black White. Or then I jumped back in with X Y. I bought Sun and Moon. I played it, but I didn't play Sun and Moon Ultra. And then I obviously played all Sword and Shield. So it's just weird. But I actually what's crazy is in grad school, I actually bought Pokemon Black at a GameStop, and I played through most of it because I was like, I never played this game. So I went back and I played it finally. But Diamond and Pearl, it's still that it's like the lost generation for me. Like I remember it a little bit, but it was definitely the one I played the least. So I'm excited to play the
You
remake.
slept on my Pokemon Empoleon, Jerry.
I guess I did. Shit, bro.
Infernape is genuinely my favorite starter.
Wait, what are the three starters from that?
Infernape,
Piplup,
Chimchar,
and Turtwig.
Turtwig.
Oh yeah, Turtwig's kind of lame. That would be who I'd pick though.
What?
But he's kind of lame.
I like
Oh,
Turtwig.
Torterra's cool. He's
a little-
grass and ground though, so he has a lot of he's got a lot of coverage, I think.
I always pick the grass starter, so it's like I just feel like that's the one that I am probably the least attached to because
I
Infernape.
think you'd like Torterra. Torterra is really cool.
It's just Infernape and Empoleon are just so much more recognizable in my mind.
I
Like,
love, Infernape is genuinely my favorite starter. Like
Turtwig kind of got overshadowed by the other two in that generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because even I'm a grass guy and I'm still like, oh, Infernape's so fucking cool, dude. He lays hands, dude. I'm like, that dude goes fucking hard, bro.
Infernape's really dope.
Yeah, but my favorite grass starter is probably Trico or I hate to say it, but I fucking love Grookey, bro.
Grookey's really cool.
He's honestly so fucking like he's hype.
He be banging them
Grookey and-
drums.
Grookey,
Yeah.
Rillaboom, like, and I admit I've always had a thing for monkeys. So when they finally made one of the grass starters a monkey, I was like, "Fuck yeah, bro!" But
But what about the fire
Love
monkey,
Grookey.
Jerry?
I love Grookey.
Fire
that's
starter is
okay.
a Chinese zodiac, so
That's okay, but grass monkey, I said, ooh. I said, gimme.
Oh wait, is that confirmed, Kenny, or is that a theory?
I mean it's
It's a
just
theory. It's a theory. I read a long article about
it's
it.
a theory, but come on, like at this point they just had a rabbit. Like if the next one matches, like there's no denying it anymore. They've done 9 of the 12. Like I don't know. Like
Wait,
How can
so
you-
They got rat.
yep,
They
Typhlosion,
got,
Monkey,
They got
Tiger, Incineroar.
They got rabbit.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Cinderace.
Cinderace,
Cinderace.
They got
Cinderace,
dragon.
Charizard, or
Charizard.
yeah, Charizard.
Oh wait. This article's saying goat for Charizard.
What?
Goat.
That's wrong.
Whoa, wait.
They got monkey.
Charizard's not a goat.
Yeah, that's dragon. They got monkey.
Infernape.
And they got pig.
Yep, Emboar. Yep.
Emboar.
So they,
And then I like to say Finnegan is a fox, and so I go dog with Finnegan.
dog.
I
think that covers it.
think there's 8.
So they don't
Fire-
have rooster, goat, horse,
Horse or
or
snake.
snake.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, if the next one is a horse
or ox.
or ox,
Yeah.
A lot of types, guys.
yeah. I'm just
What
saying
is-
that if the next one matches, like, come on.
Come on.
If the next
Come
one
on.
matches, then I mean that confirms it.
But
Blaziken. Blaziken would be Rooster.
Rooster. Yep, there you
That's
go.
the rooster. Mm-hmm.
We were forgetting one of the biggest ones.
Yeah.
What's Torchic? Or not what's that's his name.
Cyndaquil? Cyndaquil?
Cyndaquil.
Rat.
Rat.
Rat. Okay, yeah. Charmander's dragon. Cyndaquil is rat. Torchic is rooster. Chimchar is monkey. The little pig one, I don't know his first form's name. What's the first form of the pig one?
Imbor,
I don't know. I always
Pig Knight.
Come on, David.
I know.
Come on, David.
What
is his name?
What gen is that? That's Gen 5,
That's
right?
Black and White.
It's with
No.
Sceptile and Oshawott. I just can't think of what his name is.
Fuck. I'm actually mad. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't either. I just
Then
remember
it's-
his final form is Imbor.
Then it's Fennekin.
Tepig.
Tepig. Thank you.
Tepig.
Yes, Tepig's big. Finnegan's the dog. What's Litten? Is the cat one of them?
There's a
Tiger.
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 Litten's the tiger.
Yeah.
And then the bunny one. I can't even remember his name. Fucking
Cinderace.
Cinderace.
Cinderace's his evolved name. What's the baby? Raboot. No, that's the middle one.
That's the middle one. Score Bunny.
Score Bunny.
Score Bunny. So yeah, all the fire types literally do match, guys.
They match.
There's no fucking denying
I mean,
it.
okay. So wait. So what's the next one going to be though? What's left? So
It's gonna be an ox. It's gonna be a fire ox.
Fire Ox. Wait, that'd be dope. Actually.
Sign me up. It's a fire ox.
I just think that there's no, like, if the next one is on, there's no denying it. I feel like after Cinderace, there's no denying it anymore, right?
Yeah, I'm about to say the rabbit kind of proved the theory.
I gotta stop
but-
calling it Cinderace, or I'm gonna like.
Yeah, it's
unironically call it
Cinderace. Sorry
Cinderace.
to everyone listening. It's Cinderace.
Cinderace.
Kenny and I just jokingly have been calling it Cinderace for months.
That's
now.
its name. What are you
Cinderace.
talking about?
What are you
Cinderace.
Whatever. Pokemon's great, guys. If anyone's not a Pokemon fan, I'm
Classic
surprised.
anime right there.
I'm really
It's
excited
an anime,
for
it's related.
the new one, though, Kenny. I'm excited for the new because I saw a little trailer and it looks really cool.
Yeah.
Seems like it's going to be a pretty fun little thing. There's a trailer. You guys, if you're listening, you should go check it out. Pokemon. It's called Pokemon Evolutions, I think, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
And it goes with the 25th. This is also Pokemon's 25th year anniversary. So for those who don't know, it's celebrating 25 years in November, I think. So, or maybe it already hit 25 years. I can't remember what the actual date of the 25 years is, but 2021 is 25 years of Pokemon. So they're doing a lot of cool stuff this year, including animes, games, music collaborations, cards, all sorts of stuff involving Pokemon. It's been a big year for Pokemon. So there's Funko Pops that are 25th anniversary, you know? So it's been pretty dope. But I just thought of another piece of news.
Oh, okay.
Me too.
And kidding, I don't know if you remembered this. Is it the same piece? I wonder if
No.
it is.
You say it.
Well,
He's
you
making a
do.
joke because I did it, and then you
No, wait.
did it.
Sorry, no,
Okay.
okay. Mine is real. They announced a couple weeks ago, maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago, Slam Dunk is returning as an anime. They haven't said if it's a movie or a series or what it's going to be, but there's going to be a new animated production about Slam Dunk coming in 2022. And that is crazy good news, guys.
Wait, about
because
Slam Dunk or just Slam Dunk?
I don't think that we know if it's like a sequel, a prequel.
maybe?
We don't like. Nobody knows. Is it a full reboot? Nobody. No, I don't think anyone knows the full like extent of what it's going to be. But there is going to be an animated production of Slam Dunk, in some capacity. It could be a movie. I don't know.
So we don't know if what's his name, Takahiko.
Okay, no, it
Inoue
is a movie.
is
Let me
involved?
rephrase that. It's a movie.
Oh, it's a movie.
Okay, yes, I did. They did announce it is a movie. So it's either going to be a sequel movie, a recap movie. I don't know, but it's going to be a brand new anime production. So
Next year?
I can see it
exciting.
being like a. I can see it being like a, like kind of like a in the future, or like following the end of the movie or something.
Oh, wow, there's a trailer too. Or not a trailer,
Yeah.
like an announcement.
It's like a
thing?
teaser. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a teaser is what I would call it.
Wow.
But
That's
yeah.
wild. That's
You know, for those of
exciting.
you listening, Slam Dunk is kind of considered the godfather of shonen sports manga, and it's kind of established a lot of tropes that involve in that genre, shonen sports, and that's kind of become its own specialty, right? There are a couple others like Captain Tsubasa that were
Yep.
kind of around in that generation.
Or major.
that laid the groundwork for what it's become. But now it's a staple, right? Every shonen magazine has a sports manga running in it now, and you've seen pretty much every shonen sport get they've done soccer, football, basketball, golf, bowling. You know what I mean? Like just about every sport has had some sort of shonen series made around it. So, and it's all because of Slam Dunk, in my opinion, or at least Slam Dunk certainly popularized the genre because it's considered one of the greatest manga of all time by many, and it even is, I think, one of the best-selling manga of all time. I think it's one of the best-selling of all time. So,
and one of the best anime openings of all time. So,
yes, sir.
Apparently, it's been confirmed that Takahiko Inoue is writing and directing it, which is wild.
There you go. That's dope.
So it's going to be good.
I hope they use the same opening song. That would be awesome.
Sakabika, na 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 na. I love that.
Yeah, that's it exactly. Everybody, you don't have to listen to the song.
I don't recognize that song, Jerry. What is that? What is that song? What is
That's the Slam Dunk opening as performed by Jerry. I just remember it's like Sakabika, na 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 na.
It starts really. It's like dum dum.
It's pretty fucking catchy, honestly.
It's really good.
Right.
Slam Dunk is actually ranked number 9 on my anime list as the number 9th best manga of all time.
Highest sports manga?
No, just manga ever.
But I'm saying, like, is it the highest sports?
Oh, is it the highest sports? Let me double check the rankings.
There are only 8 that are better than it. So
yeah, it is. It is the highest sports manga. Yeah, for sure. The 8 above it are Berserk, JoJo Part 7, One Piece, Vagabond, Monster, Full Metal, Goodnight Pum Pum, and Grand Blue Dreaming. So, also, when the fuck
Grand Blue Dreaming?
Yeah, the other ones are all like classics. When the fuck did Grand Blue
Dreaming? Grand Blue Dreaming.
Wait, what's Grand Blue Dreaming doing up there? Wait a second.
All time?
It's the highest comedy.
It is, yeah. I mean, the other ones are all serious above it. Yeah.
I really like Grand Blue Dreaming, so whatever.
Yeah, when the fuck did that get up there?
What I don't get is how can you like accurately like provide a rating for something that isn't completed, you know?
Yeah,
like,
it's just
like,
people they're just giving it a rating. While they're reading it, they have a star rating on it.
That's so dumb to me. That's so.
And then it's like, yeah. Honestly, if I were Mal, I would probably like turn that off. You know what I mean? Like if you haven't completed the series, don't let their star rating work.
Skews numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be interesting if they turned that off. To where I wonder what would happen because Berserk is still technically not completed.
Right.
So like, you know, Berserk has always held that it's like Full Metal Brotherhood. Like Brotherhood has been like the #1 on Mal anime for like years and years or whatever. Berserk is the same way. It's like been the #1 manga for years and years on Mal. But if they got rid of ongoing series, it would instantly lose its spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or at least like separated between like ongoing rating and completed rating or something. I don't know. That might overcomplicate it, but
yeah, I don't know if Mal's about that life.
Yeah,
but they might do. I mean, you could David shoot him a message.
Hire David. David should start working at my anime list.
I'll send him an email. What's their contact?
Yeah, you're pretty good on them computers, so go ahead and shoot him an email. Say, hey, I've got my resume
about your website that I could help improve.
My resume is attached. That's what, you know. Give him a little bit of that action, dude. Actually, what's crazy is for a minute there, the Gintama movie had moved up to being like the top anime of all time, but it got review bombed really hard.
Yeah, and
it has now dropped to where did it drop to? Holy shit! It dropped hella hard.
Wait, did it really?
There it is. Yeah, it dropped all the way to the 16th place because it got review bombed so hard. Because Mal doesn't stop you from. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm looking at my Mal right now. I gave Gintama a 1 star.
Wait, why?
I've never seen it. But I gave it 1 star.
Why'd you give it a 1?
Harry, bro, change that.
Did someone hack you?
No, it can't be above Full Metal, dude. That's the whole thing. I'm one of those toxic anime fans that just give a 1 star to all the stuff that beats Full Metal.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah, dude.
What? Why do you do that?
You guys don't do that?
No, you're memeing right now. You're memeing.
I watch anime, guys.
It's a real thing.
Wait, are you serious, Jerry?
On my anime list, it's a real thing when something beats Full Metal.
Are you saying like when you say my anime list, are you saying like your account or like the website my anime list?
Okay, let's start with from the top. on my anime list, anytime something beats Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, everyone that's a fan of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood goes to that thing and rates it a 1 star because it pushes it back down.
Yeah.
So the other day I was on my personal My Anime list, and Gintama was at the top, and I was like, oh, that's not right. So I clicked on Gintama, I added it to my list, and I gave it a 1 star.
Guys, I just watch anime and I read manga. I'll tell you about the ones I like. I'll tell you about the ones I don't like. But I'll never
why
review
are you trying to change the course of history to your own?
Participating for the culture, dude. For the culture,
You're a sheep. You're a follower. You're just doing what the crowd tells you to do.
We gotta keep the gates against Jerry. Honestly, he's got to get out. He's got to get out. We gotta
tell Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry, get out of the gates. I'm the gate guardian.
You're a gatekeeper.
I'm the gate guardian now.
Gintama can be number 1 if it wants. I don't care. But it was funny to me that, I mean, a lot of people really, I guess, are protective of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood because it's like been number 1 on Mal for so long. And it's funny because I opened up my old account recently, and I realized that many years ago when I watched Brotherhood, I rated it a 10 star, like without, like not even remembering. So my account has been contributing to Full Metal staying on top this whole time, and I had no idea because I don't get on there. I haven't been on my personal My Anime list. Check this one out. It was created in September of 2008.
Wow.
Jesus Christ, guys.
That's about as long as my car registration was up. So that was a terrible inside joke.
Hey, inside joke. Sorry, listeners. Inside joke. Jesus Christ, Kenny. 2008. That's pretty wild. I made this. I don't even know how long My Anime list has been around, but I feel like I must have made this near its onset.
Yeah.
Let's see if it's got a Wikipedia.
It's been a while, but
okay. The website was launched in 2004, so
Okay.
only 4 years after the website was made, I made an account.
Wow.
And I would have been in 8th grade. So I would have been a whopping 14 years old or something, 13 or 14 years old. And I'm like, Jesus, Jerry, you fucking weeb. That's all
you like Full Metal Alchemist, man. That's all it is.
When I saw it, I was just like, man, I'm such a fucking dweeb. But yeah, aren't we all? That's the reality of it. I wonder. Too bad I never put Vampire Knight on this list. I wonder what I would.
Vampire Knight
should have given it a 10 like it deserves.
10 out of 10 stars. We got to get Vampire Knight to the number 1 on Mal.
Let's briefly talk about gatekeeping.
Okay, let's talk about gatekeeping.
We shoehorned a little bit. I don't know. Do you guys feel like the anime community is bad at this, or do you think that it's not as big of an issue in the anime community? Because I don't know. I've been thinking. What do you guys think?
I think that it's a nerd community thing. People are scared about people coming into their community and liking things. And I don't understand why, right? We just all like the same thing. That's awesome. And I think that in a lot of, they're like, well, you don't like it as much as me though. Because I think a lot of people have, I don't know, attached their personalities to sort of these nerdy niches. And if people that they think are normies start liking things that they like, they get upset about it because it's this is all people tend to think that this is all they have whenever you don't, and you can share it with so many people. I like anime and I like manga, and so I like talking about that shit. So I think that people guard it like that and gatekeep like that because they have I don't know, have felt persecuted somewhat for liking those things, and I think that's sort of why. And I do think it is bad in the anime community. I think it is bad.
I like what you said, Kenny. You said that a lot of these people, they tie it to their whole identity.
Yeah.
And so they feel like when someone comes in and tries to make a statement about it or tries to be a part of it or whatever, they I think they get scared that that it's questioning their entire identity, their entire purpose in life, And it's really not, right?
Right.
If some guy decides to watch Yu Yu Hakusho this year and they end up loving it, it's their first thing ever. I mean, yes, Yu Yu Hakusho has been a part of my life for a long ass time, but if they end up hating it and they say that, it doesn't have anything to do with me. It just means that I like something that they don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I just feel like a lot of people take it far too personally when they really get into it, because it's just like, man, dude, like, you're not Yu Yu Hakusho, dude. Like, chill, you don't have to be mad that someone else didn't like it. But I also feel like on top of, you kind of made a point there, Kenny, that people try to what did you say? You said that, we just get defensive of it, but like, do you feel like sometimes newbies are maybe like too aggressive? I don't know how else to put it. Like,
no, I don't know. I feel like newbies are really and I think that that's something special with anime where you're like, as soon as you're into it, you're like, wow, this is so awesome, and there's so much, and so you're like, wow, I can do anything, I can watch anything, and I could definitely see that it could be, I don't like that, and you're like, this is my favorite anime, and it has been for 20 years, and you don't like it, like what? And I think that there's that, but some people don't like things, and not everybody has to love Cowboy Bebop. That's how I see it, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think what you were saying earlier, Kenny, I don't think it's about like people coming in, people that are already on the inside and strangers coming in to like what people on the inside like. I think it's mostly, and we kind of have these discussions all the time, where people come into the community and they'll like experience something, watch something, and they'll like have a hot take. And a lot of people, I think it's better now. At least, I mean, I've only been in the anime community for about a year, so I'm only used to what it's been kind of during and kind of post COVID. But I think nowadays it seems that there's more. There seems to be more kind of amicable conversation when it comes to like hot takes and people kind of like debating like, can he beat Goku though, or just kind of like saying like oh, this is the best anime of all time because of this, like because of XYZ. So I think now people are more up to having those conversations, not like shitting on each other and attacking people personally because they don't think Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is the best anime of all time.
Yeah, they don't go on and review bomb on my anime list.
Yeah, they don't give it a 1 on my anime list because they don't agree.
Who would do that? That's weird.
I don't know.
Definitely no one on this podcast. Definitely
nobody here.
No toxic anime fans here.
No, but I think to kind of go back to like the gatekeeping part, kind of to tie that in, I think, and we've talked about this many times on the podcast. And we've had guests even kind of talk about it as well. How the anime community as a whole was pretty toxic, a few years ago, and a few years ago it was toxic for a while, and I think with the events of the past year or two, there's been kind of like a soft reset. A lot of people have kind of flooded into the community, so there's a lot more newbies that are getting into anime and expressing their opinions or having discussions, having debates, but it feels less personal that people are taking things or dealing things to other people, so that's good. I've been feeling pretty good about that, so
yeah, I agree.
And I think
you go, Ken.
The anime community is highly opinionated. I think that that's always been the case, and so I think that it definitely leans toward that sort of gatekeeping. You don't know, you haven't seen this, or and it's just because I think it's always been sort of highly opinionated.
Yeah, it's definitely, you were definitely right about, it's like definitely a nerd thing of like anything that a lot of people have passion over, and other people come in and just do something opposite, like people get defensive and will gatekeep or personally attacked. I know specifically with the like Attack on Titan community, the My Hero Academia community, they're infamous for a lot of toxic things that they've done to even voice actors on the show for not performing to their standards, for example. So yeah, I mean that's like the extreme of it, but overall I still think it's definitely better than what it used to be. So
Right. And now this is getting into a little bit of just, is the anime community toxic at this point? And
Yeah.
I think both new and old people in the community are definitely toxic. I think that there's some, but I also think that a lot of times in any large fandoms, saying the anime community is already like a broad thing to say. That's like essentially millions and millions and millions of people. Like, the anime community is comprised of literal millions because, we know for sure that series are selling to millions and millions that would probably consider themselves a part of this community at this point. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of hard to make like a broad claim about anime as a whole because each sub niche, each series might have its own kind of sub communities that interact and adjust in different ways. And then on top of that, obviously, any overgeneralization will land with like, obviously there's going to be someone that's like, well, I'm a part of the fucking Attack on Titan community, and I'm not a fucking nerd, that's it. There's always going to be a little bit of that, so that's fine. But I think like getting back to the gatekeeping part, I think that the biggest issue is that I actually think that when I first started thinking about it, the anime manga community is actually a pretty like, I think the reason why people flooded into anime and manga amidst the pandemic is because it was like an open door, like it wasn't guarded as well, like as much as like maybe like DC and Marvel comic books will never, I just don't think they're ever going to reach like a mainstream appeal. The comic books, not the movies, obviously, but the comic books, because those properties are heavily guarded by their fan bases. And I just feel like anyone who wants to get into that community is uncomfortable. Like, I can't even imagine becoming like a massive comic book fan because it just feels like it would be impossible to get the right answers and figure out how to do it without being completely berated by people telling me, well, why do you not understand that this chronology starts in the 8X number? There's just not a lot of helpful and informative content or even conversation.
It's very confusing to get.
It's hard too.
It's confusing and guarded. And it's like the community doesn't want to help. It's like, figure it out, you fucking pleb. I figured it out, But with anime and manga, that access issue was not there. So I think that that's where we saw this massive rise. But I think the gatekeeping started to occur when these new people came flooding in, and they started to, and this, again, conjecture based off of personal experience, but a lot of them started coming in and started making these wild claims, like Boruto's the best manga of all time. And it's like that, and I think all of a sudden, that it was that bear poking that led to some of the gatekeeping, if that makes any sense. Like, I do think that some of the new fans' fervent love of the new stuff, the stuff that they've dipped their toes into, has, it's cool to express, like, I really enjoyed Boruto, but, I haven't really read that much manga or anime. That would be a normal way to say that, right? But instead, a lot of these people came flooding into this community like, fuck everything you've ever loved, Boruto's the best shit ever. And I'm like, whoa. And I think that it kind of created this cultural, it's a generational war in the anime community where these old heads, as I've heard them referred to as, the old heads kind of had to like take up arms, like, the Boruto fans are coming, grab your hilts and let's take them down. And the Boruto fans are like, grab your ninja stars, plebs. Choo. I don't know, but
pick up your ninja tools.
My scientific ninja tool. I just think that there's been this kind of cultural war brought up. It's more of a generational war, not a culture. It's a generational war that's occurring simply because the new gen, instead of trying to come in with discourse, sort of came in and was just like, fuck your old shows. They're stupid and lame. I think that has actually egged on some of the gatekeeping, at least in the communities I run around in. There's a lot of this weird, like, and maybe it's like a legitimate, maybe it's bigger than just anime and manga. Maybe it's a legitimate generational issue, right? Yeah. Maybe this is a thing where millennials, which is, I think, kind of the old heads at this point, the people in their mid-30s to mid-20s, are sort of defending against these 15 to 25-year-olds, and that it's maybe just a generational conflict that's bigger than anime and manga. Maybe I'm seeing it under a microscope of anime and manga, but in reality, it's like young people and old people have always clashed. The ancient Egyptians once told of the old people and young people that would fight. That's the.
But it's funny because like they're pretty close in age. Like technically, like I think I'm not even a millennial. I'm like a zillennial because I'm right in the range. Like
you and I are like right on the like. I'm a year or two into being a millennial, and you're like you're taking like a year into Gen Z.
Yeah.
But like we're both on the all three of
Like
us are
the
in this
cusp.
It's kind of this middle ground between I mean, I think that it would be tough to argue David and I are Gen Z. We're just a couple years too removed into it. But Kenny, you're literally like right on. I mean, you were born essentially on the marker line. I've heard 96 used as the year that separates the years, and that isn't that the year you were born?
You're a Zoomer.
Yeah, I was like
1996.
Kenny's a Zoomer.
so Kenny was born on the line between millennial and Gen Z, which is like, and then David and I are just really young millennials.
Yeah.
The younger range of millennials. So it's really interesting when you again, and now education, generations. Generational study is like a unique concept to begin with. And when you try to look at it in a sub community like anime and manga, it probably gets really fucking muddy. And I'm sure that, there's always going to be millennials that are like, well, I'm more like a Gen Z, and Gen Zers that are like, I'm more like a millennial. There's probably some Gen Zs that want to be boomers. I don't know. But beside the point, I'm surprised that the gatekeeping, at least in my time, has kind of shifted from less of a entry point combat. Like, it's less of like, I'm in this community and you're not allowed in, and more of we're both in this community, but I like shit that is terrible, and you like shit that's terrible too, and we're trying to just combat whose terrible is more terrible. And I think that has been an even weirder. It's a crazy it's weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I think the anime and manga community, other than that, is actually pretty like. If someone wanted to start an anime manga and start to engage in the communities around it, I think it would be super easy. I think there's not a lot of people who would get onto you for trying it.
Yeah.
If you told an anime or manga fan, I want to, they'd probably be excited no matter what they're into.
Yeah.
The issue starts to arise within the community once you get these cross-generational combatants. But I don't know.
It's like super easy to make like, and I've literally done this, to just make an Instagram page and you just post pictures of characters from Naruto every day if you wanted to. And there's people that will like find your account, will like your stuff, and kind of encourage you to continue doing so, like to continue making that content. And I think I think that the anime community has definitely gotten more inclusive and maybe even forgiving. But when people come in with like the super hot takes of like X-Arm is the best anime I've ever seen, or like Boruto, Naruto's dad is lame, or whatever. Just
troll culture. It's like modern Gen Z troll culture. It's like
so bad. It's like all right. Our first instinct is like, you're trolling. You're not serious.
Yeah,
but
there's people I love it.
Oh no, we lost Kenny. But
no.
I don't like I don't know if
no, you're there, Kenny. He was saying we lost you because you love Boruto.
I got it.
Okay, yeah. I thought you were. I was like, no disconnect this week.
Nope. He's never disconnecting because he's with me.
Baby.
But I think I don't know how other old heads out there that are listening are kind of handling this, but kind of how I've been handling with meeting people who are new into anime, because I guess I'm technically an old head because I've always been in anime.
Right.
I just had like a break and then came back, but I've been like trying to like be like educational and just kind of like teach. Okay, so. All right, you love Boruto. That's whatever.
Right.
But okay, if you like Boruto, maybe you might like these other shows. Like just try to like coerce people into other things that are actually good, and just kind of like see, because a lot of the times people just don't like. They could just middle of pandemic, they're like, I feel like watching a cartoon. They go to Netflix, like, oh, Boruto, what's that? And they start watching Boruto, and they're like, this is amazing. And it's just like naivety, like they don't really know what else is out there. So it's really just like those types of fans that want to get more into the anime community, the anime culture. They just kind of need, a step in the right, a push in the right direction of like what to go from there. And then if they have any taste, they'll understand. Oh wait, Boruto is like actually bad and like
Kind of lame.
kind of like, you know, kind of
lame.
like find other things, you know, kind of go from there to see what's good, what's bad, and kind of like form their own taste. So
Yeah. You're a crossbreed, David. That's what you are.
I'm a crossbreed.
You're a cross.
You
You're a
love
hybrid.
I'm a crosser.
Yeah.
I'm a
You love
crosser.
Boruto.
You're a dirty crossbreed. But another thing of interest there, it's kind of I like that your style there, because I think as an old head, that's always, I think that sometimes people don't even realize the length of time in which I've been into anime and manga, because I interact with young fans a lot. And I mean, until they hear me talk about Black Clover, then they're like, this dirty old man, get the fuck out of here.
You love Black Clover. What are you
Wait, are we
saying?
hating on Black Clover now?
You changed your mind on Black
sorry.
Clover.
You
What are you saying?
initially
No, but
hated it and then you loved it.
I didn't.
What?
No, stop. Okay, but you know what I mean. The moment that I opened my mouth about Black Clover, it's like all the young kids were like, "We caught him," you know.
Yeah.
FBI, we got him. But no, I think that I mostly engage with younger fans a lot. But like today, someone that is in a Discord that all three of us are in said, Mashal peak comedy, and I was like, okay, great. But my first thought was, have you read any other comedy manga? Because I just don't think they had. And I think that's like, it's great. You could think that it's a really good comedy manga. That's fine, bro. But you need to try some other stuff in the genre before you try to say that it's peak. Because peak is supposed to imply that it's the top, that it's the best.
Yeah.
It's the best it can be. So, I don't know.
Yeah, like perfect examples. Gintama, Bobo, Hitman Reborn, before it becomes shonen, about shonen.
I mean, yeah.
Kuso no Seinen.
Look at Grand Blue Dreaming. It's considered one of the best
Grand
manga of all
Blue
time.
Dreaming.
Comedy manga, you know? Even I really like Hinamatsuri is one that I just recently started. It's really awesome. It's funny. It's hilarious. Definitely better than Mashal, in my opinion. You know, it's just like, you've got to watch... I don't know. It's like if I watched a action... Okay, let's say I watched fucking The Expendables. And I was like, Expendables, peak action film, but turns out I've never actually seen any action movies ever in my entire life.
Yeah.
Any of the actors in the Expendables are in.
Yeah, so clearly that would be like silly. It would seem silly to because I would be like, why is that my thing? Like, like why am I standing on that point that's peak? That's the peak one. So I think that's the weird thing, is that a lot of people make broad claims and overgeneralizations without much knowledge of the underlying genre and some of the other aspects of it. It's one of those things where it's like, obviously you can love Naruto, but you have to understand what inspired Naruto to be Naruto, right? Without Dragon Ball Z, without Hunter x Hunter, Naruto would have never been Naruto. It would have never been that good. Sure, you don't have to love Hunter x Hunter, you don't have to love Dragon Ball Z, but at least understand the influences and the impacts they had on those series. It's the same thing with modern literature. We talk a lot about how things like Lord of the Rings have impacted modern literature. Understanding that impact doesn't mean that you have to think that it's worse or better, but it helps you to have a better comprehension, you can do a better literature analysis of the work if you understand where its tropes and where its concepts are birthed from. You know, things like Game of Thrones borrow elements from things like Lord of the Rings, and that's why Game of Thrones is so good. And Mashal, Naruto is so good because it improves. It does things that Dragon Ball and Hunter did, and it makes them fantastic. It makes them wonderful and great to watch. But just saying Naruto peak, which might actually kind of be true. Naruto is definitely one of the better shonen manga of all time, but it's hard to say that when it's unsubstantiated. And I think that's what a lot of people look for. And I do feel like I'm trying to, and I think that a lot of these kids, they're like, Jerry, you're such an old man teacher man. And I'm like, fuck me, dude. I don't know. I just want people to have genuine discourse about the shit that I like. And that's, at the end of the day, that's why we started the podcast. Like, let's have some genuine discourse about shit that we like. Mm-hmm. I think at the end of the day, these young kids, the older people, that's what we all want. But the discourse has become disingenuine because we've devolved into mudslinging, poop throwing, you know? Fuck Boruto. It's not peak. Boruto is peak, you dirty piece of shit. I don't know. I keep using Boruto. Poor Boruto.
Yeah. It's just the easiest example to use.
Yeah, it really is. But I think that's kind of our major. I don't know. Any other thoughts on gatekeeping, boys, or the concept?
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we went over it all. Yeah.
I think it's a fun topic.
Yeah, it's fun.
And I would love to hear. I think for you guys in the comments, if you guys think of anything fun or like thoughts on gatekeeping in the community, I'd love to hear from you guys. So throw your thoughts in the comments down below. This is definitely a topic we'll probably. I feel like we've actually kind of touched on toxic And gatekeeping in the obviously we're a fucking anime podcast.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about this stuff, but we've never really gone into it in this much detail. But I think we'll probably, and I just like we talk about pirating with a lot of different guests. It's one of those topics that I'd like to kind of continue to have those conversations around. We like to have some topical. We're a very fun podcast. We talk about topics and things.
Yeah. I think one thing, like, just a final like takeaway from the gatekeeping conversation is, like, for those that you're listening out there, like, don't be a gatekeeper, just be a guide. Be the person at the gate who's telling
Kenny, did you
people.
hear that?
Don't be a gatekeeper. Be a guide.
Be a guide.
That's a
Slap it on a shirt. Slap it on a shirt. Slap it on a shirt.
Don't be a gatekeeper.
Don't be a gatekeeper. Be a guide.
Be a guide. Just be a guide. Just be the person. Be the person in the community that helps others. Find out what they really like. Because a lot of the times, they just don't know. So don't keep them out. Show them where to go.
Yeah. Damn, David.
Damn,
David. Okay, boys. Let's wrap this episode up. Thank you guys so much for listening with us today. Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Uncensored Anime Podcast. We're really excited to be having all of you and all of our new subscribers, all of our new fans, all the new people who've been joining us for our episodes. Hope you guys enjoyed. Last week we put out our Uncensored Anime Podcast special where we went to our first anime convention in 2 years. It was a vlog. It was much more short form. I hope you guys checked that one out. If you didn't check that one out, please, or if you're over on Spotify or Apple Podcasts right now, jump over to YouTube. Leave us a view and a comment on that. It's only 10 minutes of your life. We really had a fun time filming it. We had a fun time there. That would help us out. I know that's a little different from our normal content, so it's not going to perform as well. We understand that. But if you could jump over there and give us a little listen or a little view, that'd be awesome. Well, it's more of a watch because you want to enjoy the convention that we were at. That'd be super awesome for us, as well as obviously check out our anniversary episode, our first in-person podcast. If you guys haven't seen that one yet, we're not going to do fully in person anytime soon. We don't really have the space for it, at least for another couple months. But there is a future where this podcast might be fully in person, at least for the episodes where it's just the three of us or a guest that's local. Obviously, if we have virtual guests, we're going to go back to this format. It's just easier, right? Like, if we have someone who's in LA or somewhere in another state, like when we had HBL on, she's not located anywhere near us. So it was really good to have her on from where she's at. And that was really awesome. So, again, just grateful for everyone. But make sure, if you're listening, if this is your first time joining us on the Uncensored Anime Podcast, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, do all of that. It helps us out in the algorithm here on YouTube. And if you're over on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure that you follow or leave us a 5-star review because that's going to help build up the podcast in both of those listening platforms. And on that note, this has been another episode of the Uncensored Anime Podcast, and we are saying peace.